हे एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल फील जितेश। मैं आज आप लोगों के लिए पॉलिटी के लेक्चर्स बहुत ही फेमस कोचिंग के अपलोड कर रहा हूँ। प्लीज़ कोई स्ट्राइक, कोई कंप्लेन मत कीजिएगा। ये सिर्फ उन लोगों के लिए हैं जो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते हैं। मैं पहले ही माफ़ी मांग रहा हूँ, बाद में आप लोग ये मत कहिएगा कि आप चोरी कर रहे हो, ऐसा कर रहे हो, वैसा करो। देखिए, मेरे को भी कहीं से मिले तो मुझे लगा कि उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए डाल दिए जाएँ, जो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते। मैं भी उनमें से ही हूँ एक। मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप लोग इसका भरपूर इस्तेमाल करें, अच्छे से पढ़ें। दीज आर दी बेस्ट लेक्चर्स एंड मैं भी इससे पढ़ रहा हूँ, आप लोग भी इससे पढ़ो। एंड कोशिश करूँगा जल्द से जल्द सारे लेक्चर्स डाल दूँ। तो प्लीज़ अच्छे से पढ़िए। अब सही समय है सही से तैयारी करने का, तो अच्छे से तैयारी करिए। चलिए, आई होप यू विल लव दी लेक्चर्स। प्लीज़ लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल।
ओके, एंड यू ऑल नो व्हाट वी डिस्कस यस्टरडे, है ना सर? बताओ, व्हाट वी डिस्कस यस्टरडे, बेसिक थीम। मीनिंग ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी, मीनिंग ऑफ सिविल सर्विसेज, ठीक है ना? ये आपको पता ही है। बताओ सर, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी? Bureaucracy is a system of officials who are selected on the basis of the merit, working full time for government, paid by government. ये तो थे bureaucrats. Who are civil servants? Other than civil servants are the bureaucrats only who are not part of military administration or judicial administration. जो बचते हैं वो सब civil servant कहलाते हैं, right? And where I stopped? Any officer, यार देखो मैंने क्या बोला आपको, government has not given the distinction. It's only the scholars which gave number of definitions, and the definition which I gave to you yesterday, it's only an average of all those definitions. Okay, I gave you caution that there may be overlapping. There will be one officer who might not be clearly in any of the domain. ऐसे होगा आपके साथ में, ठीक है ना? But that was the best average representation. अब ये बताओ सर, आप ही where did we stop yesterday? Characteristic, ठीक है ना? यहाँ पे हमने छोड़ा था. Today I'll be taking number of concepts which for you people, because you are beginner, might be very complicated. So try to imagine few things also. Feel the subject. Polity में you know this thing. Polity मतलब Article 53 is this, Article 60 is this. But when we talk about governance, you have to imagine few things. Means you have to feel few things. Understand the spirit. जैसे basic structure वाली बात है ना. What is basic structure? Very difficult to define. But still you know what is basic structure. है कि नहीं? ऐसी है गवर्नेंस. सो टुडे वी स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी. एनीबॉडी, व्हाट इज ब्यूरोक्रेसी नॉन फॉर, फेमस फॉर? सबसे ज्यादा रेड टेपिज्म. बहुत बढ़िया, कुछ अच्छी बात से शुरुआत करते हैं. बोलो. हायरार्की. हायरार्की का मतलब क्या है सर, पता है? हायरार्की, हाँ जी, वेरी गुड. Hierarchy means division of the work from top to bottom. एक पूरी chain of command है नीचे से ऊपर तक, and the work is divided at every level. हर आदमी अपना काम कर रहा है, इसे कहते हैं hierarchy. You see hierarchy in Vision IS or not? यहां पे भी है. For example, somebody is actually the whole soul chairman of Vision IS. Somebody is working as a senior manager. Somebody is working below him. But here the hierarchy is not very big, or hierarchy is not very strict. उतना strict नहीं है. For example, if I am the owner of this institute, sometime I might work as a senior manager, sometime I might work as on different rules. But bureaucracy में ऐसा नहीं है. In bureaucracy, hierarchy is strictly followed. अब इसका मतलब क्या है hierarchy का? Today I'll be telling you few things in a very lighter sense also. No word is to be missed. Try to write whatever you have understood, उसको लिखते जाओ, and do not dismiss anything even if it is said in a lighter sense. हर बात का एक मतलब होगा, ठीक है सर? देखो, the typical design of a bureaucratic organization is this. पहली hierarchy है ये. Typical design. Triangle is used to represent an organization. Triangle मतलब organization, ठीक है जी? We begin this way. Now imagine, समझो इसको. इमेजिन दैट दिस इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सरकार. राइट नाउ विल बी डिस्कस एवरीथिंग इन द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. सरकारी बातें चलेंगी या सिर्फ? Suppose this is the department or ministry of government. Let's say it is मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स, ठीक है सर, और इंडस्ट्रीज, कोई भी मिनिस्ट्री है, इट कैन बी रिप्रेजेंटेड दिस वे. लेट मी टेल यू दिस ऑल्सो, इफ लेट से दिस इज अ मिनिस्ट्री, अगर ये ट्राइंगल मिनिस्ट्री है एंड दिस इज द सर्कल, व्हाट इज दिस सर्कल रिप्रेजेंटिंग, यू नो? वेरी गुड. दिस सर्कल इज नथिंग बट मिनिस्टर. For example, if this is HRD ministry, this circle is HRD minister. If this is home ministry, this circle क्या है? Home minister. Did you see that I have brought a gap between this circle and triangle? Why this gap? बताओ sir. Using the best available common sense, tell me why the gap between this circle and the triangle. Triangle कुछ नहीं है. Triangle is the bureaucratic organization. ये सारे सरकारी कर्मचारी हैं. हाँ बोलो. Yes, because minister is actually himself not a bureaucrat. वो खुद bureaucrat नहीं है. As he said correctly, minister is elected and bureaucrats are selected. कल हमने देखा था through exam or interview or some qualification for him. ठीक है ना? और ये gap, and why I put it above the triangle? Because this minister is controlling the whole ministry. पूरी ministry इसके अधीन है. Ultimately, the final word will be the of the minister. But as I told you yesterday, minister himself is not an expert in administration, so he will rely on the expert knowledge of bureaucrats. Bureaucrats trained है. अब आप लोग, when you clear IAS this exam, this UPSC exam, you become IAS. Some people will go to Mussoorie, some will go to Hyderabad, some will go to Nagpur, this and that way. Now, these people, when they go to training, they take the expert ट्रेनिंग ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, वो ट्रेनिंग लेके आए, whereas they come after taking what? ओथ. हाँ, वोट और ओथ दोनों. वो ज्यादा ट्रेनिंग लेके थोड़ी ना आए, है कि नहीं है? When Rabdi ji entered the office of CM particular state, did she take training? No, but still she managed so well. Reason? Bureaucrats. उनके नीचे सरकारी कर्मचारी हैं जो ट्रेंड हैं. एनीवेज, लेट्स कम टू हायरार्की. ये मुझे बताना था इसलिए मैंने आपको बताया. नाउ आई विल नॉट डिस्कस सर्कल हियर. मिनिस्टर को छोड़ देते हैं. लेट्स फोकस ओनली ऑन द ब्यूरोक्रेटिक हायरार्की. ठीक है सर? नाउ इफ दिस इज अ मिनिस्ट्री, हु इज द सीनियर मोस्ट ब्यूरोक्रेट इन अ मिनिस्ट्री? सेक्रेटरी. नाउ सपोज लेट्स से दिस इज इंडस्ट्रीज डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, देन दिस इज होम. ले लो इसको, दैट विल बी इजी फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल्सो. लेट्स से दिस इज होम मिनिस्ट्री. ये कौन है? सेक्रेटरी होम. इसको कहते हैं सेक्रेटरी होम. सर आपके लिए बनाते रहो. बिलो सेक्रेटरी होम, वेरी गुड सर. जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी, जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी के नीचे एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी मे बी देयर, मे नॉट बी देयर, एंड दिस इज ओनली एन एवरेज रिप्रेजेंटेशन. वेरिएशंस विल बी फाइंड अक्रॉस मिनिस्ट्रीज. ह्यूज वेरिएशन भी मिलेगा, बट हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? एक रिप्रेजेंटेशन ले रहे हैं, एवरेज. बिलो जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी इज द डेप्यूटी सेक्रेटरी. डेप्यूटी सेक्रेटरी बिलो डेप्यूटी सेक्रेटरी, अंडर सेक्रेटरी. वेरी गुड. उसके नीचे आता है अंडर सेक्रेटरी. बिलो अंडर सेक्रेटरी सर, बिलो अंडर सेक्रेटरी हु कम्स? इट इज द एनीबडी? सेक्शन ऑफिसर. There are other posts also, director, this and that, but they are variations, not general. Okay. Section officer below him, assistant. Very good. इनके नीचे है assistant साहब. Below assistant, who is the person? Anybody? Clerks means upper division clerk. UDC मतलब क्या? Upper division clerk. बहुत बढ़िया. बिलो यूडीसी इज लोअर डिवीजन क्लर्क, एंड एट द बॉटम इज पियोन. नहीं बोलते पांडे जी, पांडे नहीं, पांडे जी. ओके, पियोन. सबसे नीचे पियोन. बिकॉज आई टोल्ड यू यस्टरडे ऑल्सो, ही इज ऑल्सो अ ब्यूरोक्रेट, ही इज ऑल्सो अ सिविल सर्वेंट. ये हो गई हायरार्की. Hierarchy means the work has been divided in vertical manner. अब इसको दो लाइन लिखो, पहले हायरार्की लिखो. हायरार्की, ब्यूरोक्रेसी, फर्स्ट फीचर, ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज हायरार्किकली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. पहला फीचर है ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज हायरार्किकली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. Keep reading what you're writing. That is, there is a complete chain of command. Chain of command means channel of communication or direction of communication. Information कैसे flow करेगी? Through a chain of command से. There is a clear chain of command or communication with clear division of work, at every level. Sir, you tell me, do you think this system is good? ये आर्मी से लिया है हमने सिस्टम. When we say offices are organized this way, we have taken the system from army. Hierarchy means not only division of work. Hierarchy also means one thing, that at every level, listen very carefully and patiently, at every level there is a superior and there is a subordinate. Superior subordinate relation है हर जगह पे. For example, upper division clerk is boss of lower division clerk. However, he is subordinate of assistant. And this way, till the highest level. हर level पे superior subordinate relation मिलेगा and boss is always the boss. This kind of thinking is seen in organizations which are highly hierarchically organized. आजकल वो चीज खत्म हो रही है. If you see many organizations that are coming up, particularly in private sector, this kind of strict division is actually not followed. If you work in Facebook, what will you call Mark Zuckerberg? क्या बोलोगे आप उसको? Mark किधर आओ? He will not ask a peon, please bring water for me or please bring this for me. He will himself go. Okay, they just want to some extent, they want to remove this superior subordinate strict division. Okay, but then यहाँ तो है. In government offices, if your boss is there, what will you call him? Sir ही बोलोगे ना, नाम लेके तो नहीं बुलाओगे. Strict hierarchy is there. Boss is always seen as boss. You are subordinate. और हर जगह हर एक का काम defined है. I give you an example of this. काम इसका फायदा क्या है? टेल मी फर्स्ट. वो हाँ जी बोलो. एफिशिएंसी कैसे? मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, इफ आई डिवाइड द वर्क इन सो मेनी लेवल्स, भाई कितने लोग इन्वॉल्व हो गए? एंड दिस इज ओनली अ मिनिएचर मॉडल. छोटा सा मॉडल है ये तो. एक्चुअली देयर आर सो मेनी मोर पीपल. व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट इफ आई फॉलो हायरार्की? पहले ही इज सेइंग वन वर्ड, वेरी गुड वर्ड, अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी का मतलब क्या है सर? जवाबदेही. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? अब ध्यान से सुनना. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन आंसरेबिलिटी एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी? देखो दो क्वेश्चन है. ही इज आंसरेबल टू मी, ही इज अकाउंटेबल टू मी. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? अकाउंटेबल मीन्स ओरल और अकाउंटेबल रिटर्न. वो तो ठीक है, मगर मतलब क्या हुआ? कुछ तो डिफरेंस होगा. यस, आंसरेबिलिटी. और आंसरेबिलिटी में बोलो बोलो. आंसरेबिलिटी में you said right, but then you हाँ बोलो. और आंसरेबिलिटी में in what? Excellent. And this is what she said, but then she did not complete it. Anyways, देखो बात ये है, you take this example. For example, I am answerable to you. I am answerable to you. एक ऐसा एग्जाम्पल ले लो. इन दिस केस व्हेन आई एम ओनली आंसरेबल टू यू, यू कैन एट बेस्ट क्वेश्चन मी, ये क्यों नहीं हुआ? व्हाई डिड यू कम लेट? व्हाई डिड यू लीव अर्ली? व्हाई डिड यू नॉट टेक दिस टॉपिक? समझ रहे हो? यू आर ओनली क्वेश्चनिंग मी, बट यू कैन यू टेक एक्शन अगेंस्ट मी योरसेल्फ? बहुत बढ़िया. और इसको और सिंपल करके बताता हूं आपको, सी दिस थिंग, अकाउंट आंसरेबिलिटी मींस इफ समथिंग हैपेंस, somebody can question you, is A or B? A is accountable to B, ऐसे समझो, A is accountable to B, मतलब B can question A, B A से क्वेश्चन कर सकता है, why did you come late, why the conduct was not proper, why did you misbehave, समझ रहे हो? When you can only question somebody, that somebody is answerable to you. But when you can also punish somebody after asking question, then that somebody is accountable to you. समझ में आया? और should I make it more सड़क छाप and then it will बोलो सर, understood or not? When somebody is answerable to somebody, it means that person has to answer what is being asked. बस क्वेश्चन का आंसर वो दे देगा, उसको बताना पड़ेगा ऐसा क्यों हुआ. आप पुलिस का केस ले लो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ पुलिस केम लेट, देर इज अ क्राइम इन योर लोकेलिटी, आपने पुलिस को कॉल किया, पुलिस केम लेट, विल यू क्वेश्चन पुलिस और नॉट, व्हाई डिड यू कम लेट? दे विल आंसर यू और नॉट? थ्योरेटिकली वो आंसर करेंगे, देयर वाज अ जैम और आई कुड नॉट फाइंड द हाउस, दिस एंड दैट. वो सिर्फ आपको ये आंसर देके चुप हो जाएंगे. कैन यू रिमूव द पुलिसमैन फ्रॉम द जॉब? नो. दूसरा केस, पुलिस कमिश्नर, इफ पुलिस कमिश्नर फील्स दैट दिस इंस्पेक्टर इज हाईली करप्ट, he will question him, why did you take bribe or why did you not come to the crime scene at the earliest possible time? Question तो पूछ ही रहा है. Now inspector will give the answer. Here the inspector not only will give the answer, if the commissioner is not satisfied, he will dismiss the inspector also or not. In that case, inspector has become not only answerable to the commissioner, he has become accountable. Answerability में आप सिर्फ सवाल पूछते हो, दूसरा आंसर कर देता है. But when somebody is accountable to you, you can not only seek an answer from him or explanation from him, you can also punish him if you are not satisfied with the behavior of the particular person. Understood sir or not? Simple सी बात है, accountable. So he said, he used this word accountability. इन्होंने बोला when we divide the work from top to bottom, इस तरह vertical division हम करते हैं, then accountability is fixed. ये तो इन्होंने बोल दिया, I understood the meaning also. But then sir tell me what is the actual meaning of accountability? यहां आप किस सेंस में बोल रहे हो कि accountability कैसे आएगी बताओ?
Superior can take action.
वो तो ठीक है, और concrete division of work. So वेरी गुड, एक्सीलेंट. देखो आपको एग्जांपल देके बताता हूं. यू हैव सीन ऑफिस, सो यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वेल ऑल्सो. सर सपोज यू हैव टू सेटअप इन इंडस्ट्री. चंडीगढ़ में एक इंडस्ट्री सेटअप करनी है. विच इंडस्ट्री विल यू लाइक टू सेटअप? क्या बोला? बियर मेकिंग इंडस्ट्री. चलो आपके लिए यही लगा देते हैं. हैप्पी सर? अब भाई ये तो लीगल है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आफ्टर ऑल देयर इज अ वैक्यूम ऑल्सो नाउ इन इंडिया. ही वॉन्ट्स टू सेट अप एन इंडस्ट्री इन अ पर्टिकुलर सिटी. ठीक है, विल यू जस्ट स्टार्ट इट लाइक दैट? नो, यू रिक्वायर सम काइंड ऑफ परमिशन ऑल्सो फ्रॉम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. जमीन वगैरह सब लेनी पड़ेगी आपको. द फर्स्ट स्टेप विल बी, लिसन, बी वेरी केयरफुल नाउ. फर्स्ट स्टेप विल बी, ही विल डू व्हाट? सबसे पहले क्या करोगे सर बताओ? व्हाट विल बी योर फर्स्ट स्टेप? अप्रोच द स्टेट विद समथिंग और नॉट? समथिंग क्या है वो? हाँ, प्रपोजल. अपार्ट फ्रॉम मनी, प्रपोजल लेके जाओगे या नहीं जाओगे? ही विल क्रिएट अ प्रपोजल ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. पूरे प्रोजेक्ट का प्रपोजल बनाएंगे ये, दैट दिस इज माई विजन फॉर माई फैक्ट्री एंड दिस इज द कॉस्ट विच आई विल इनकर, दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ प्रॉफिट आई एक्सपेक्ट, दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ कॉपरेशन आई एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ठीक है ना? पूरा प्रपोजल बना दिया इन्होंने. दैट प्रपोजल वाज 1987 पेजेस लॉन्ग. इतना लंबा प्रपोजल था, बनेगा ही बनेगा. इट्स अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड इंडस्ट्री. ओके, नाउ ही विल अप्रोच द मिनिस्ट्री फॉर परमिशन. हु विल बी द फर्स्ट पर्सन एनकाउंटर्ड बाय हिम? सबसे पहले पांडे जी मिलेंगे. अब आप क्या करोगे? पहले ही विल डू व्हाट? he will hand over the proposal which is so big to Pandey along with दे देंगे पांडे जी को प्रपोजल लो सर मेरा. पांडे जी विल डू व्हाट? पांडे जी विल डू व्हाट? अब यहां से काम शुरू हो जाता है. इट इज द, देखो कल मैंने बताया था आपको हाउ इज एन ऑफिसर. इट इज द रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ पांडे जी टू एक्सेप्ट द प्रपोजल एंड ही हैज सम अथॉरिटी ऑल्सो. व्हाट इज अथॉरिटी? उस पे स्टैंप लगा देंगे. Yes, I have taken the proposal and this is your acknowledgement. And Pandey ji will put a stamp and hand over the acknowledgement to him. Receiving हो गई. Pandey ji will then, देखो पूरी chain चलेगी. Pandey ji will hand over the proposal to lower division clerk. Lower division clerk has a different work. Specific work है उनका. What is that work? Lower division clerk will see whether all the papers which are expected from in a proposal are there or not. सारे पेपर पूरे हैं कि नहीं? This will be seen by lower division clerk and he will give a comment, yes, all the papers are in place, and he will also put a signature. Then he will transfer the file to upper division clerk. Upper division clerk is the boss of lower division clerk. He will countersign on the sign of lower division clerk. मतलब he will check whether the work of LDC is correctly done or not. समझ रहे हो? It's a kind of duplication of work with some addition. यूडीसी देखेगा एलडीसी ने काम सही किया कि नहीं किया, एंड देन ही विल आल्सो साइन. सारे पेपर पूरे हैं. ओके, आफ्टर दिस ही विल पुट द फाइल इन फ्रंट ऑफ असिस्टेंट. दिस इज ओनली हाइपोथेटिकल केस. ओके, इसको सिर्फ समझने के लिए है ये. देन ही विल पुट द फाइल इन फ्रंट ऑफ असिस्टेंट. असिस्टेंट विल सी अ स्पेसिफिक एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. फॉर एग्जांपल, असिस्टेंट माइट सी वेदर ही हैज द फाइनेंसेस टू कंटिन्यू विद द इंडस्ट्री और नॉट. नाउ सी व्हाई बैंक्स आर facing this problem of NPA, non-performing assets. Banks को नुकसान क्यों हो रहा है? Many people are starting the project, but they are not able to complete it. उनके पास पैसा ही नहीं है, तो बैंक का भी पैसा फंस गया ना. I took the loan from bank, started a project, could not complete it. Who is at loss? Me as well as the bank. So he must have finances with him to complete the project, or he must have the resources to complete the project. कैसे भी करके. That should have been mentioned in the project. तो असिस्टेंट का काम क्या है? असिस्टेंट विल सी वेदर दिस फेलो हैज इनफ मनी और नॉट, एंड हाउ ही विल कम टू नो दैट. असिस्टेंट को कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? यस, इनकम स्टेटमेंट, इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न वगैरह जो उन्होंने लगाए थे प्रपोजल में, ही विल रीड ऑल दैट एंड ही विल गिव अ सिग्नेचर, आई एग्री ही हैज द मनी टू कंप्लीट द प्रोजेक्ट. वो अपना कमेंट देके आगे कर देगा. द फाइल विल गो टू सेक्शन ऑफिसर. सेक्शन ऑफिसर विल डू व्हाट? क्या करेगा वो? ही विल काउंटर चेक द वर्क डन बाय असिस्टेंट. हाँ, सारे पेपर पूरे हैं, एंड ऑफ कोर्स सम एक्स्ट्रा वर्क विल आल्सो बी डन बाय हिम. वो अपना भी साइन दे देगा, आई एग्री विद व्हाट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड बाय द असिस्टेंट. देन द फाइल विल मूव फर्दर. दैट विल गो टू अंडर सेक्रेटरी. अंडर सेक्रेटरी विल नाउ सी इनटू दैट as he will now go into another aspect of the work. For example, finances was seen by assistant. Under secretary might see something else. For example, environmental implication. Environment के लिए ये इंडस्ट्री कितनी सही है? Now Chandigarh is a green city, beautiful city or not? When somebody is setting such a industry there, it might pollute the water bodies. तो environment को नुकसान हो सकता है. तो he will give his comment. Environmental damage possible. वो comment देके वो साइन कर देगा नीचे. Then the file will move further up. Deputy secretary के पास चली गई. Deputy secretary will see in another aspect of the project, disaster. Nowadays, disaster is a big word. आपके syllabus में भी है disaster management. Deputy secretary might see, is there a possibility of disaster occurring because of this industry? Can one industry bring disaster? भोपाल में नहीं हुआ था. भोपाल यूनियन कार्बाइड was a single industry. एक plant ही तो था वो, which changed the history of Bhopal. So this deputy secretary will see, is there a possibility of disaster because of this industry? Now when you have this kind of industry, chemicals are used. Though the chemicals are not that deadly, pharmaceutical होती तो और भी खतरनाक होता, but then he will say no scope of disaster. उतना बड़ा disaster का scope नहीं है. He will give the comment, then he will pass on the file to joint secretary. Joint secretary will now see into another aspect of the work. Though let me tell you, this is a simplification of the whole work. Actually में काम इतना simple नहीं होता है, but for your understanding I am giving you this example. Joint secretary will see into another aspect of the work. Is there a possibility of, is there a social outfall of the project? क्या समाज को कोई नुकसान हो सकता है इससे? बोलो सर, यू टेल मी, कैन दिस इंडस्ट्री कॉज प्रॉब्लम टू सोसाइटी? कितनी जल्दी नो बोल रहे हो? अरे ये और नो ऑल्सो, इट्स ओनली द वे यू से इट. सोशल इंप्लीकेशन क्या होगी इस प्रोजेक्ट की, दैट विल बी सीन बाई दिस फेलो, सेकेंड इन कमांड, एंड ही विल गिव हिज ऑब्जर्वेशन. I feel that this industry is not that hazardous to the society, but if not controlled, it can be. ये अपना कमेंट देके आगे बढ़ा देंगे फाइल को. नाउ द फाइल हैज कम टू द सेक्रेटरी. यू नो व्हाट विल बी द वर्क ऑफ सेक्रेटरी? उनका काम क्या होगा? बस he will just see the comments, he will not go into the detail. ऐसा नहीं है that secretary will start and he will himself keep checking whether he has finances or not, whether a possible disaster or not. ऐसा कुछ नहीं करेगा वो. He will just go through the comments given by these officers, and if he feels that he has something to agree with these comments, then he will agree to these comments, means project is passed. फिर मंत्री जी के पास चला जाएगा, मंत्री जी पास कर देंगे. बट देखो, डिड यू नॉट सी दैट एट एवरी लेवल सम स्पेसिफिक वर्क वाज डन, और वर्क कम भी हो रहा था. एज द वर्क वाज मूविंग अप, द वर्क वाज गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड और नॉट. ये भी एक बेनिफिट है. अब अकाउंटेबिलिटी, ही सेड दिस सिस्टम वेयर वी डिवाइड द वर्क माइन्यूटली एट एवरी लेवल, इट ब्रिंग्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी. नाउ ही इज राइट. हाउ अकाउंटेबिलिटी विल कम? एग्जांपल, वो भी है. और आप देखो कल टुमारो व्हेन द सेम केस हैपेंस विद हिम लाइक हैपेंड विद मालिया, इन्होंने ही स्टार्टेड दिस इंडस्ट्री एंड सडनली वी केम टू नो दैट ही टुक लोन फ्रॉम द मार्केट एंड ही हैड नो मनी ऑफ हिमसेल्फ टू कंटिन्यू द प्रोजेक्ट. अपने पास तो पैसा था ही नहीं, सारा लोन लेके एक नाम की इंडस्ट्री भी शुरू कर दी, एंड ही टुक अवे दैट लोन एंड ही इज नाउ सिटिंग इन इंग्लैंड. पैसे नहीं थे इनके पास में, एंड वी केम टू नो आफ्टर 1 year और 2 year. तो उस केस में क्या होगा? हु विल बी कॉट? असिस्टेंट. यू चेक्ड वेदर ही हैड द मनी और नॉट, यू सेड ही हैड द मनी, एंड नाउ ही इट इज प्रूव्ड दैट ही एक्चुअली नेवर हैड द मनी. मतलब तुमने पैसे लेके वो रिपोर्ट बनाई थी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स हो जाएगी कि नहीं जाएगी? अंडर सेक्रेटरी सेड देयर इज नो स्कोप ऑफ डिजास्टर बिकॉज ऑफ हिज इंडस्ट्री. टुमारो एक्चुअली अ डिजास्टर स्टक इन हिज इंडस्ट्री, मेनी पीपल डाइड. डिजास्टर हो सकता था कि नहीं हो सकता था? इन द नेम ऑफ इंग्लिश प्रोडक्ट ही सेलिंग. काफी लोग लॉस्ट लाइफ, लार्ज स्केल किलिंग. उस टाइम किसको पकड़ोगे सर? और इट कैन बी पॉसिबिलिटी दैट अदर डिजास्टर आल्सो स्ट्रक. किसी भी तरह का डिजास्टर हो सकता है. सम गैस लीक्ड और व्हाटएवर डिजास्टर हो गया, इतने लोग मर गए. नाउ इन दैट केस हु विल बी कॉट? Deputy Secretary. How did you give him the certificate that there is no possibility of disaster in the industry? ये देखो कितने लोग मरे. It means you must have taken money. Are we not fixing accountability? Not only we are asking the question to these officers. If we found that they took money for giving these kind of certificates, we'll also punish them. मतलब these officers were accountable to us. Not only they were answerable, they were accountable. उनको हम punish भी किया, हमने हटा दिया उनको जॉब से. Understanding or not? तो दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी ऑफ इंडिया, दैट वर्क इज नीटली डिवाइडेड. हर काम अपने हिसाब से हो रहा है, अपने कायदे से हो रहा है. उससे टुमारो वी कैन कैच हु वाज रिस्पॉन्सिबल. दिस वाज द फर्स्ट बेनिफिट, अकाउंटेबिलिटी आती है. व्हाट इज द सेकंड बेनिफिट ऑफ डिवाइडिंग द वर्क? डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर. तो है ही, फायदा क्या है? बोलो सर. ट्रांसपेरेंसी ऑफ जॉब मीन्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी ना, simplification of job, or it can be used, we can use another word for this, specialization of work. Very good. At each level a person is doing a specific job, though specialization is not only vertical, it is also horizontal. एक ही लेवल पे अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट होते हैं, वो अलग अलग काम करते हैं. ओके, बट देन शी इज राइट, स्पेशलाइजेशन ऑफ वर्क इज कमिंग. एक आदमी स्पेसिफिकली फाइनेंस का काम देख रहा है, द अदर पर्सन इज स्पेसिफिकली लुकिंग इनटू द डिजास्टर इशू. Okay, what is the other benefit? Many people are getting job. Height जितनी बढ़ेगी, हायरार्की की जॉब बढ़ेगी. But then that is only an incidental benefit, है ना. कोर बेनिफिट की बात करो हायरार्की के अंदर.
Prevention of power in concentration of power in prevention.
वेरी गुड. पावर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन नहीं है. वन पर्सन इज नॉट टेकिंग ऑल द डिसीजन. द डिसीजन इज बीइंग स्कैटर्ड ओवर द होल लेडर. तो सारी पावर एक आदमी के हाथ में नहीं है, अदरवाइज ही वुड हैव बिकम ओमनीपोटेंट. वेरी गुड सर. और कोई आंसर? प्रिवेंशन ऑफ, वही तो बोला उन्होंने, जब कॉन्सेंट्रेशन नहीं होगी तो अब्यूज भी रुक जाएगा. एनी अदर फायदा? हाँ, और देर इज वन वर्ड which actually he used when he said simplification of work. He should have said it prevents information overload at the highest level. See, who is the final decision maker? Secretary is the final decision maker. है कि नहीं है? अब आप ये देखो, the proposal ultimately has to be passed by whom? Secretary. Ultimately the secretary proposal pass करेगा. Imagine a case when we do not have these many people below him to assist him. सारा काम secretary खुद कर रहा है. The proposal is coming directly to secretary. What will happen? One proposal is 1987 pages long. On daily basis, this secretary is getting 47 proposals. How many pages one day? अब हमें क्या पता, CSET is qualifying now. Compulsory. थोड़े से नंबर लाने, whatever is the case, but then it means number of pages are huge. Can he go through all these pages daily basis? छोड़ो, yearly basis पे भी he cannot read the proposals. So he need a full line or chain of command below him to assist him. Otherwise, if you keep sending the proposal directly to him, you remove these people from the line, he will die or not? इतना सारा काम वो अकेले कर पाएगा? नहीं कर पाएगा. And he will actually be shocked by information overload. So to prevent information overload at the highest level, hierarchy comes very handy. Hierarchy से फायदा होता है. ठीक है ना? Write down 2 benefits. और नुकसान क्या है इससे? What is the problem with having over dependence on hierarchy? बोलो. Time taken. By more are the people. See this thing. 1987 pages are there. How many days will he take to read them or even flip the pages? He may take it 2 months, though it can be done within 1 day, but then after all he is a सरकारी कर्मचारी. He might take much time or not. चल रहा है, एक दिन में एक पेज पलट के देख रहे हैं at his own pace. Time will be much. और इसीलिए बोला जाता है that in bureaucracy the delay in decision making is there because वर्क हैज टू पास थ्रू नंबर ऑफ लेवल्स, है ना. और इस डिले को क्या बोलते हैं? दिस डिले इन वर्किंग सीन इन गवर्नमेंट वर्किंग इज कॉल्ड एज, इसे ही तो बोलते हैं रेड टेप. रेड टेप हैज कम फ्रॉम, यू नो व्हाई दिस वर्ड हैज कम, रेड टेपिज्म क्यों आया है शब्द? If you see a government file, they have a file on which they put the paper and then they close it using a red tape on that. और उसको बांध देते हैं और वो बंधी रहती है. ओके, रेड टेप मीन्स डिले इन वर्किंग. और डिले तो हो गई, सो मेनी पीपल इन्वॉल्व, एवरीबडी विल टेक इट्स ओन टाइम. Apart from delay in work or decision making, there is another problem. If you have such a big hierarchy, क्या है? Corruption. करप्शन होगी कि नहीं होगी? मोर आर द पीपल, मोर आर द शेयर होल्डर्स. भाई यू सी ऑफिस ऑफिसर नॉट, ही विल टेक द प्रपोजल टू पांडे जी. पांडे जी विल टेल हिम व्हाट? पांडे जी क्या बोलेंगे? हाँ, पहले तो पैसे लेंगे, उसके बाद बोलेंगे पैसे भी ले लिए, गो एंड मीट शुक्ला जी. ही वेंट टू शुक्ला जी. शुक्ला जी सेड व्हाट? पान लेके आओ. ही विल आस्क फॉर हिज शेयर. देन शुक्ला जी विल सेंड हिम टू भाटिया. ही विल गो टू भाटिया. भाटिया क्या बोलेगा? समोसा लेके आओ. समोसा भी लिया है, चलो. देन भाटे से ओके, दिस वर्क विल बी डन बाय उषा जी. ही विल गो टू उषा जी. व्हाट विल उषा जी आस्क हिम? सब्जी काटो. दिस वे सो मेनी आर द शेयर होल्डर्स, सो मच इज द एक्सपेक्टेशन फ्रॉम हिम. अब एक आदमी कितनों की डिमांड पूरी करेगा? करप्शन यहीं से आएगा. और डिले भी हो रहा है, इनएफिशिएंसी भी हो रही है. ये प्रॉब्लम है फॉलोइंग रेड टेपिज्म. करें क्या? देखो, not only you have to highlight the problems, you also have to give a potential solution. अगर आप ब्यूरोक्रेट बन रहे हो, do not say this is bad, that is bad. Give a potential solution also. हाँ जी, क्या लगता है आपको क्या करना चाहिए? हायरार्की का फायदा भी है और नुकसान भी है. व्हाट शुड वी डू? ऑप्टिमम नंबर ऑफ लेवल. वेरी गुड सर, एक्सीलेंट. पढ़ाई का फायदा भी है, नुकसान भी है ना. इट कैन कॉज बर्डन बट दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड. तो व्हाट डू यू डू? You do a optimum hours of study on daily basis. For example, you study 1 hour daily. उससे ज्यादा दिमाग पे बोझ आता है और उससे कम पढ़ेंगे तो it will be very difficult. तो optimum level का मतलब क्या है? He said height of the hierarchy should be optimum. Optimum means height of hierarchy should not be very much. Height of the hierarchy cannot be compromised below a point. उतने लोग रखो जितने जरूरी है. Means instead of having LDC and UDC, you can have UDC itself. LDC को हटाई दो. After all, his work is getting duplicated here. है कि नहीं है? Though he will actually become overburdened, UDC पे burden बढ़ जाएगा, but then it will bring down corruption and height of hierarchy. काम जल्दी भी होगा. But then let me tell you, removing people is actually not a solution. There is another solution to optimize the height of hierarchy or actually to do away with the problems of hierarchy. Hierarchy की problem क्या है? Time delay, corruption. If I say that I don't want to remove people from the list, मतलब ज्यादा लोगों को मैं हटाना नहीं चाहता. After all, they will lose job. What is the other way out? Better way? Time bound तो अभी भी है सर, but they do not follow the time limit. Digitalization, excellent sir. बस खत्म. E-governance. E-governance लेके आओ सर. E-governance means bringing the government on electronic platform. If you want to fill a form, fill it online. If you want to see the status of your form, open the site, see the status. If you want to take a certificate, do not go to the office and wait for the certificate. Certificate will be sent to you online. आपके मेल पे आ जाएगा. रिजल्ट देखना है, मेल पे आ जाएगा. ये है e-governance, electronic governance, governing through the means of electronic or communicating with the citizen through electronic media. I'll take a whole class on this e-governance, but अभी इतना समझो आप लोग. E-governance. I use the word e-governance because it is given in syllabus. So if something is given in syllabus, take it very seriously. Otherwise, I could have. अब ये देखो, LDC, he has to flip 1987 pages, almost 2000 pages. He might take 1 week on that. The same work, flipping the pages and checking whether all the papers are there or not, can be done by machine also not. और machine कितना time लेगी? 2-3 minutes. You go to banks. Earlier, we would give the check to the teller कि भाई ये check जमा कर लो. Now are we giving the check to somebody on the window? No. Now there are machines, kiosk, where you put the check and it will automatically give you a receipt कि भाई check आपका जमा हो चुका है. ये क्या है? ई गवर्नेंस ही तो है. बिकॉज मशीन विल नॉट आस्क यू मनी ऑल्सो. वो क्या मांगेगी? सिर्फ सर्विसिंग. कोई बात नहीं, ना तो वो डिले करेगी ना करप्शन होगा वहां पे. ई गवर्नेंस इज द बेनिफिट और वे आउट. बट हायरार्की तो रहेगी. डिवाइडिंग द वर्क इज गुड, बट डू नॉट डिवाइड इट सो मच दैट सो मेनी पीपल कम इन, दे ब्रिंग डिले, दे ब्रिंग करप्शन. एक तो उसकी हाइट लिमिट रखो. दूसरा, वेरेवर पॉसिबल यूज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स ऑफ वर्किंग. और when I said chain of command का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of chain of command here? Chain of command बोलो सर. Yes. Chain of command means there is a chain. A chain है ना? There is a proper channel through which the file will move, through which information will move, and at no level, कहीं पे भी, no level is to be jumped. This is also a reality. Remember this. If I say that I am talking about chain of command in government context, it means at no level information can bypass the level. ये for example, assistant has to pass on the file to under secretary. ऊपर तक तो जाएगी file. It can, in no case it can happen that the assistant will take the file himself directly to under secretary. At every cost, assistant will first inform the section officer, and if he is not physically available, he will tell him on phone, sir, I have to take this file to you. आप तो है नहीं, can I take it to under secretary? Then only when he will write in written form, that will be done. Otherwise, no, you cannot communicate with your super senior. Remember this, you cannot communicate with your super senior without taking in loop your immediate senior. अपने इमीडिएट बॉस को बताए बिना अपने सुपर बॉस से बात नहीं करनी है. बात क्या करनी है? कम्युनिकेट नहीं करना है. बिकॉज दिस विल अंडरमाइन द अथॉरिटी ऑफ योर बॉस. अरे आई डायरेक्टली गो टू द बिगेस्ट बॉस, विल आई हैव एनी रिस्पेक्ट फॉर माई बॉस? नो. और ये सिंस आई सेड दिस सिस्टम वाज टेकन फ्रॉम आर्मी, इन आर्मी दिस सिस्टम वाज यूज्ड टू ब्रिंग डिसिप्लिन. बॉस इज ऑलवेज बॉस. अंडरस्टूड सर? राइट. नाउ clear division of work which ensures, clear division of work लिखा था ना, clear division of work which ensures that authority of the seniors is always respected. Since in general situations at any level one cannot communicate with the boss's boss, boss ka boss. One cannot communicate with the boss's boss without taking into loop whom? The immediate boss. Following hierarchy in work, काम में hierarchy follow करने से, following hierarchy in work causes accountability and transparency, in work. Now how it is caused? I gave you the example, पूरा example दिया है. Are you able to go through these discussions later on also? I think you can, no? रिकॉर्डिंग्स देख सकते हो ना आप लोग. बट देन डू नॉट वेट फॉर द रिकॉर्डिंग के यार एग्जाम्पल रिकॉर्डिंग से देख लेंगे. वॉट एवर आई गिव एन एग्जाम्पल प्लीज राइट डाउन, इट विल हेल्प योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग टू गेट ब्रॉडन. ठीक है. ऑल्सो इट अवॉइड्स इंफॉर्मेशन ओवरलोड. इंफॉर्मेशन ओवरलोड बचती है, particularly at higher decision making levels. However, higher decision making level besides bringing specialization, लिख लो, besides bringing specialization, that is also a kind of benefit. Besides bringing a specialization in work. However, having a strict long hierarchy causes delay in decision making. Causes delay, DELAY, देर हो जाती है. Delay in decision making, you write in brackets red tapeism. Delay in decision making, brackets red tapeism, which is very dangerous. When? कब खतरनाक होती देरी? अरे इमरजेंसी में. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देर इज एन इमरजेंसी, एक इमरजेंसी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज होम मिनिस्ट्री. दिस असिस्टेंट गॉट अ इंफॉर्मेशन विच इज हाईली सीक्रेट. एक इंटेलिजेंस रिपोर्ट आई है इनके पास, ऐसे अटैक इज इमिनेंट, अटैक होने वाला है इस लोकेशन के ऊपर. देन ही हैज टू पास ऑन दिस इंफॉर्मेशन टू दिस लेवल, डेप्यूटी सेक्रेटरी लेवल को देनी है, बिकॉज ही इज द पर्सन हु हैज द रिसोर्सेज डायरेक्टली टू डील विद द थ्रेट. वो ऑर्डर दे सकता है पुलिस को, ओके, बट देन he will wait for section officer to take the project up. Section officer आगे लेके जाएगा, and this way it will take away much time or not? By the time attack would have actually got realized. तो emergency में hierarchy is a problem. ठीक है, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग इमरजेंसी, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग इमरजेंसी और क्रिटिकल टाइम्स. Besides adding to corruption, और एक प्रॉब्लम और भी है. बताओ सर, if you follow hierarchy, there is one more problem. Inefficiency, how come? यही तो inefficiency है, delay वगैरह सब inefficiency है. A bigger thing, pressure on subordinate from senior, or you can say initiative of the subordinate is suppressed or not. For example, for everything, I have to take permission from my boss. I developed a very good model. I developed a very, very good model to deal with the problem of women. For example, the assaults on women, which is taking on regularly. I developed a very good idea to tackle with this issue. And I was simply a clerk, LDC. भाई मेरे दिमाग में तो आ सकता है, आई ऑल्सो प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज, तो मेरे दिमाग में आइडिया आ गया, बट आई कैन नॉट टेक दिस आइडिया टू द सीनियर लेवल. रीजन, मुझे अपने बॉस के पास जाना पड़ेगा, हु इज द यूडीसी हिमसेल्फ. I took the proposal to the UDC. Sir, I have got this wonderful idea by which we can actually ensure safety to women, particularly after particular time. What will this UDC tell me? मेरा बॉस क्या बोलेगा? वो बोलेगा ये आइडिया मेरे दिमाग में नहीं आया तो तेरे दिमाग में कैसे आया? अपना काम तो होता नहीं, ये सब चीजों में टाइम लगाते हो. मींस ही विल डिस्करेज द पर्सन बिलो हिम. चांसेस ये है कि नहीं है? टुडे आई विल गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल, अ ब्यूटीफुल एग्जांपल बाय व्हिच यू विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस, हाउ इनोवेशन एट अ पर्टिकुलर लेवल इज लॉस्ट फॉर एवर बिकॉज ऑफ डिपेंडेंस ऑन रूल्स. अब ये रूल ही तो है. यू हैव टू टॉक टू योर इमीडिएट बॉस to discuss something very urgent and creative with your super seniors. In that sense, sometimes I may actually not be allowed to talk to my super senior, and when it is being done, idea to gaya, I will also lose the motivation to think in future. Not छोड़ो यार, nobody cares for good idea, let's not think that way, routine का काम करो और जाओ. ये हो जाएगा कि नहीं? This tendency will come. This is also a problem. Okay, besides adding to corruption and suppressing innovation, paragraph change, we can still make use of hierarchy. We can still make use of hierarchy by limiting the levels in the hierarchy, or as he said very correctly, optimizing the levels by limiting the levels in the hierarchy, or using or taking help of e-governance. Meritocracy, bureaucracy. जो मेरिट को प्रमोट करे वो मेरिटोक्रेसी हुआ. भाई इन ब्यूरोक्रेसी पीपल कैन एंटर आफ्टर प्रूविंग देयर मेरिट और नॉट. कैन यू बिकम अ ब्यूरोक्रेट अनलेस यू क्लियर द एग्जाम? नो. एंड वंस यू क्लियर द एग्जाम मीन्स यू हैव प्रूव्ड योर मेरिट. It means bureaucracy is encouraging what? Merit. It is not encouraging favoritism. It is not encouraging nepotism. I want to make him the next IAS officer, but I cannot. My hands are tied. Favoritism हो नहीं पा रहा है. Nepotism हो नहीं पा रहा है. Nepotism means चाचा भतीजा. Favoriting the kids and kins. ठीक है सर? तो meritocracy is brought because of bureaucracy. System में merit को जगह मिलती है क्योंकि bureaucracy है. Had this been patrimonial administration, that would have not allowed merit. That would have allowed nepotism to prevail. ठीक है सर? Third thing is sphere of competence. Now this is just for the name sake I am telling, because he might put a question with this name. Otherwise this is nothing new. ये वही चीज है जो अभी आपने की. See, sphere of competence means, sphere of competence का मतलब ये है, if I am a bureaucrat, अगर मैं एक bureaucrat हूं and this is my work, if I am a bureaucrat and this is my work, this is the boundary of my work, then within this boundary I am competent, capable, merit है मेरे पास इस काम को डील करने के लिए. Okay, this is called a sphere of competence. Every bureaucrat has a competency to deal with the problem assigned to him. ये पेंटर के पास नहीं थी. He was not competent to work as महामंत्री. समझ रहे हो सर? Tomorrow when you become DM, you will have the competency to be DM or to take the responsibilities of DM because you have proved your merit for the job और आपको ट्रेन भी किया गया. No need to tell this, but then he might put this word sphere of competence. तब क्या करोगे? So I thought I should tell you this. Write down. Bureaucracy involves sphere of competence. Bureaucracy involves sphere of competence, that is every position in the organization has well defined area of responsibility and the individual has the well defined area of responsibility and the individual मतलब ब्यूरोक्रेट, सबकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फिक्स्ड है और उस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के लिए कॉम्पिटेंट है. एवरी पोजिशन हैज अ वेल डिफाइंड एरिया ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड द इंडिविजुअल फिलिंग द पोस्ट is skilled to fulfill that responsibility. And the individual filling that post is skilled to fulfill that responsibility. ठीक है सर? हाँ. After selection, administration is working like patrimonial. क्यों? हाँ बिल्कुल सर, दैट इज ट्रू. ये हम डिस्कस करेंगे व्हेन वी विल क्रिटिसाइज ब्यूरोक्रेसी. अभी क्या चल रहा है? अभी तो तारीफ चल रही है. ओके. फोर्थ, ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज अ करियर सिस्टम. करियर सिस्टम है कि नहीं है? सी, यू नीड नॉट एग्री विद एवरीथिंग, बिकॉज व्हेन यू डिसएग्री योर थिंकिंग एक्चुअली ब्रॉडन्स. ये सही है गलत है सर? आप मुझे बताओ एक्चुअली व्हाट यू फील, विच इज द बेस्ट करियर नाउअडेज. दिल से बताना बाय गॉड, जल्दी बोलो. बताओ सर, मुझे बताओ, उन्हें नहीं बताओ, मुझे बताओ, जल्दी बोलो. बाबा बन जाओ, बाबागिरी. Any other career which you feel is actually very promising or hot and happening nowadays? हाँ सर, बोलो. हाँ जी सर बताओ. Politicians. कोई और करियर सिस्टम सर? बिजनेसमैन. और कुछ विच यू फील दैट एक्चुअली इट्स अ करियर? कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट. हाँ, तो ये भी इतना बुरा नहीं है. मूवी क्रिटिक और मूवी एक्टर बोलते तो और अच्छा रहता. चलो कोई नहीं, आपने मूवी क्रिटिक बोला. क्रिकेटर, स्पोर्ट्स. पेंटर, हाँ वही एक्टर वेक्टर मूवी सब इसमें आ जाता है, एंटरटेनमेंट है ना, आर्टिस्ट, फार्मर, हाँ. Now see, when somebody said farmer, many people laugh. है कि नहीं है? अभी तो काफी लोग हंस रहे थे. Somebody said farmer can be a career system and people are laughing. Now see, this is the irony. बात ये, India is known to be an agriculture country, but if I say that I will take up the career to be a farmer, it is actually seen a very lowly profession or not. Farmer बनेगा इतना पढ़ लिख के. अरे पढ़ लिख के तो फार्मर बनना चाहिए, because by that time you will use the best technology available. It should not be the last resort of an illiterate man. But irony is that हाँ ऐसे ही है. Reason, farmers are already poor and the support system which is required is actually not provided to them out of scarcity of resources or whatever reason. तो ये career system अच्छा है, but in Australia, not in India. वहाँ वो they use highly sophisticated tractors. यहाँ तो खुद ही धक्का मार देते हैं जापान में. Sports is also a very good career, but the problem is that here again the same problem, infrastructure and support. Many people, many sportsmen at the who went up to the national level, they are now selling chow mein using their medal in front of their shop. पता है ना आपको? Number of movie, no problem. यहाँ प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है when your movie start failing. और कोई भी आर्टिस्ट ले लो आप, हाँ, unorganized sector है, unorganized sector. The problem is that they are not organized on one line, so your interest will not be looked after by a bigger body. You are on your own. Till the time you are getting movies, people are with you, people are coming with money. The day you start getting flop, game khatam. ये भी dangerous है. Business is a very good career system, but problem here again in India, capital नहीं है, and the support from administration is also not much. They have started this concept of startup capital, very good, but the support to startup capital is also not coming to the level it should have come by now. You start a business, first of all, one thing which will come to your mind is, सुबह पुलिस वाला आएगा to harass us, what will I offer him? After that, the collector might send me a notice. After that, electricity department will harass me. Harassments are there. Support system is missing, capital is missing, and of course, the information sharing is also missing. Though system is improving, but career system तो नहीं है ना. It can be good career, but you are not sure of it. Uncertainties है कि नहीं है धंधे के अंदर? This is the problem. Politics बहुत बढ़िया है. बट पॉलिटिक्स में प्रॉब्लम ये है, हार्डवर्क बहुत चाहिए. इन पॉलिटिक्स यू रिक्वायर टू बी वेरी हार्ड वर्किंग. यू हैव टू डू समथिंग इन 5 years विच अदर्स डू इन 50 years. 50 साल में जो दूसरे करते हैं, बनाते हैं, आपको कितने बनाना है? 5 साल में. ठीक है सर. और प्रॉब्लम ये भी है दैट यू मे नॉट लास्ट फॉर 5 years, यू मे लास्ट ओनली फॉर फ्यू डेज. 13 days सरकार चली, गिर गई. ऐसा भी होता है. एट द नेशनल लेवल इट हैज हैपेंड नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स. ये भी डेंजरस है. अनसर्टेनिटी है इन सब में. सी द प्रॉब्लम इन दिस करियर सिस्टम इज दे आर हाईली अनसर्टेन. नाउ दिस इज हाईली ल्यूक्रेटिव. ज्यादा कुछ नहीं करना है. नो इन्वेस्टमेंट, नो कैपिटल नीडेड. कैपिटल भी लोग लेके आएंगे, रिसोर्सेज भी लोग लेके आएंगे. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट अगेन अनसर्टेनिटी यहां भी है. इनफैक्ट हियर द अनसर्टेनिटी इज मैक्सिमम. Today you are actually playing holy in such a big ashram. पाइप से पानी फेंक रहे हैं सबके ऊपर. Tomorrow you are in jail and not having water to take bath also. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. Highly uncertain. और इसकी कोई लाइफ लाइन नहीं है. You do not know you may last for 50 years. You do not know you may last for 10 years. उसके बाद कहीं कैमरा लगा होगा and you will be caught. Uncertainty जो प्रॉब्लम है ना, this is actually not much seen as a सिविल सर्वेंट. यही तो आपने लिखा है. सिविल सर्विसेज इज अ करियर सिस्टम. करियर सिस्टम मतलब क्या? वंस यू बिकम सिविल सर्वेंट, दैट विल बी योर डे, बिकॉज यू नो फ्रॉम दैट डे टिल यू रिटायर नोबडी कैन रिमूव यू फ्रॉम जॉब अनलेस यू इनवाइट योर ओन एक्सपल्शन के भाई ठीक है इतने करप्ट हो गए, पकड़े गए, तो अलग बात है. बट अदरवाइज सिस्टम विल नॉट पुश यू आउट if you remain honest and you keep doing good work. In fact, for your good work, you will become famous also. They will reward you also. You know, yesterday I gave you a case study, Alex Paul Manon. He got abducted, the Naxals caught him, and he was unharmed. For 13 days he was kept with the Naxals. After that, Naxals released him. They did not even touch him. In fact, they gave him such a hospitable treatment. Why? You know, were they afraid of the administration? No. They could have easily killed him. But they had a kind of respect for him that they did not. गलती से उनको abduct किया था. It was said that they did not come to abduct him. They went to abduct somebody else, and it was a case of mistaken identity. Though it was a highly controversial thing. But उसके बाद उन्होंने छोड़ा उसको. क्यों? He was doing good work on ground, for which he was earning the respect of people. Is it not a kind of motivation to be in the system? And you also have this authority that you can change the society. और क्या चाहिए आपको? They will not push you from the work. Once you enter the service, you will be in the service for 25, 30 or 35 years. उसके बाद एक चीज और भी है, which they offer you. Salary, if not money. Salary तो देंगे ना वो आपको, which is also handsome enough. How much salary IAS officer will get in the beginning? बहुत सही है, 56,000. अच्छी है कि नहीं है? It's good. Along with other benefits given by government, जैसे कि health benefit. Will you not want to be in that career? यही चीज आपने अभी लिखी है. Okay. किसी से भी कंपेयर कर लो, civil services is the best career system, or it is a stable career system. Right now. Individual enters the service. Individual enters the service. हाँ जी सर, career system में लिखो. Individual enters the service or system for a fixed period and keep getting promoted for his good work. It provides a stable avenue for personal growth, stable avenue for personal growth, and sufficient security. Which is a big motivator to keep putting good work. One thing for which bureaucracy or civil services is very much known for, and the same thing the bureaucracy is infamous for also. एक चीज है जिसके लिए bureaucracy जाना जाता है, and that thing is the hallmark of bureaucracy. I did not discuss that till now deliberately. हाँ जी, लाल बत्ती. Decision making is available to them but not to others. एक चीज है जिसके लिए ब्यूरोक्रेसी जाना जाता है, देयर स्टाइल ऑफ वर्किंग इज सच. रैशनैलिटी इन वर्किंग इज सीन इन ब्यूरोक्रेसी. रैशनैलिटी का मतलब क्या है? आई विल टेल यू आफ्टर आस्किंग यू. Rationality in the working of the bureaucrats / civil servant. Question can come with the word bureaucracy or civil services, no problem. Rationality in the working is seen. लिखो सर, देखने के लिए नहीं है, लिखने के लिए. Rationality in the working is seen in bureaucracy / civil services. Now, what is the meaning of rationality? Rational matlab, yes, rational, he said logical. Very good. Bound to work by reason. Very good. Very good, sir. based on his idea. See, rationality, generally we feel that somebody who is rational is logical. और when somebody is logical, rationality का मतलब क्या है? Rationality का मतलब ये है, in simple language, rationality means if you are rational, you should be able to appreciate or understand the cause-effect relation. अगर ये effect है, if this is the effect, what is the cause behind this effect? If you are able to understand this, then you are rational. और यही गलती करते हैं लोग. Here comes the, जैसे as somebody said, his ideas. When you talk about your own ideas, sir, rationality is something which may be missing. Because when we are driven by our own ideas, prejudice, our own past experiences will come into play. और superstition भी तो आ सकता है. देखो लॉजिक को ही ले लो. If you feel that rational means logic, now logic can be non-rational also. This is irrational also. लॉजिक की बात बता रहा हूं मैं आपको. When you feel that somebody is logical, I tell you he might be irrational, even if he is logical, because his logic might be standing on wrong grounds. कैसे? Now I'll tell you. Sir, you watch movies or not? पिक्चर तो देखती हो, अंग्रेजी भी. Troy, you saw this movie? For the people who did not see, let me tell you in very, very brief. Troy was a kingdom, very strong kingdom. दो prince थे. Once they went on an adventure, and when they came back, the younger prince, he came back with the wife of some other king. लेके आ गया. And of course, as expected, what the other king will do? He attacked Troy. पूरी आर्मी लेके आया उसको अटैक करने के लिए. The enemy was also very strong. But luckily, the younger prince came with the wife of that king, invited the attack on Troy also, and he himself was very weak. But कोई बात नहीं, he had an elder brother who was very smart and intelligent also, and of course, क्या नाम था उसका? Hector. When the king attacked Troy with the might he had, for the first day, Hector led the defense, and he defeated the enemy for the first day. He repulsed the attack. उन्हें भगा दिया पहले दिन. After defeating the enemy for the first day, in the evening, they met in the court of king. For what, sir? हाँ? Strategy for the next day. अभी लड़ाई खत्म थोड़ी ना हुई है, celebration नहीं होगी अभी. Strategy for the next day. Now he said, let's not attack the enemy tomorrow. Today we went outside the fort, we took enemy head on, and we defeated them. Tomorrow we should not do this. Tomorrow let's be inside the wall, close the doors, and let enemy attack us. From inside the wall, we'll keep attacking the enemy and we'll defeat them. Walls of the fort are very strong. ये किसने बोला? हेक्टर ने. और उसने ऐसा क्यों बोला? He said this because he had this kind of analysis. उसने analysis किया था. Today when the enemy attacked, their number was this. Tomorrow when the enemy will attack, they will have more forces joining them and their number will be manifolds. आज if they came 10, tomorrow they will be 100. Means multiple strength will be there tomorrow. Scientific analysis. Hector reached the conclusion on the basis of scientific analysis or scientific calculation की थी उसने. It was not out of hunch, he said so. Calculation की उसने. However, there was another person who was countering Hector. He was a very senior person. कौन था वो? Priest. A holy man. He said, I have read the planetary. देखो दोनों लॉजिकल है. Is not Hector logical? कि भैया कल लड़ाई नहीं करेंगे, कल हम अंदर रहेंगे, अंदर से अटैक करेंगे. He is also logical, and his logic is based on scientific calculation. Priest, he said, I have read the planetary positions and tomorrow the sun god is in our favor, and tomorrow when we attack the enemy, we are going to win. मैंने सब पढ़ लिया है, सूरज भगवान हमारे साथ हैं, ये पढ़ तो लिया. Is he not also logical? Yes, he is also logical, but his logic is based on ये superstition. Both are logical, but one's logic is based on superstition, others based on scientific calculation. Who is rational? He is rational. If you are rational, then your decisions are always based on calculations or some rules which themselves are based on scientific analysis. पहली बात तो. And never ever, और bureaucrats यही होते हैं. If you are a bureaucrat, it is expected from you that you are also rational. In fact, rules are laid such a way that you have to become rational. There is no scope of following superstitions or hunch. Or also there is no scope of following mood. You will not take, पहली बात तो ये, you will not take decisions which are logically based on superstition. Secondly, as a bureaucrat, you will also not take a decision which is based on your personal mood or emotions. Emotions और mood की कोई जगह नहीं है bureaucracy के अंदर. ये बात सच है नहीं है सर? Example लो, tomorrow you become IS, after a few days you will become defense secretary of this country. बनोगे ये आप 20-25 साल बाद. He became the defense secretary, senior most person in the area of defense. Will it ever happen that in the morning you had a good fight with your wife and you went to office and you called upon the PM, sir, enough is enough, let's attack China now? ऐसा बोलोगे? No. You may be in trouble inside, but that trouble or mood should not affect your decision making. वो नहीं होना है. And if you do that, if you avoid involving your personal emotions at work, you are rational. और bureaucrats famous है इसके लिए, rational होने के लिए. और rational होने का तरीका क्या है? How will you ensure you remain rational? What is the way you ensure that you remain rational and you keep away emotions or superstition and all these things? क्या कर सकते हो? To follow, to be rational, do not use your personal mind, individual mind. Use rules. Work according to only and only rules, or which you can call as law. Law का छोटा form है rule. If you are a bureaucrat, you are expected to follow rules on each and every step of your working. Understood, sir? दो लाइन लिख लो. Bureaucrats are rational. Bureaucrats oblique civil servants, दोनों यूज कर सकते हो. Bureaucrats oblique civil servants are rational as their actions are caused by or driven by scientifically developed rules and laws and not by personal emotions or superstitions. This can be achieved by following the rules follow करके for every action. अब the question is that when I have to become rational, I have to do what? By I am a bureaucrat, I have to become rational. I have to follow what? Rules. Following rules in every situation or looking for rules in each and every situation is good or bad? Both. एक तो हमेशा याद रखना that do not blatantly reject one side. Try to look the other side also. कोई भी चीज कंप्लीटली बुरी अच्छी नहीं होती है. ट्राई टू लुक फॉर बोथ द थिंग्स. ओके, यू सेड कंप्लीट करेक्टली, इट इज बोथ. फॉलोइंग रूल्स विल हैव सम बेनिफिट ऑल्सो. फर्स्ट बेनिफिट, रैशनलिटी तो आ जाएगी. और रैशनलिटी का फायदा क्या होगा? इफ यू एज अ ब्यूरोक्रेट और एज अ सिविल सर्वेंट आर रैशनल, व्हाट विल बी द बेनिफिट? रैशनल, यू अंडरस्टैंड और नॉट? साइंटिफिकली डिसीजन, हाँ बोलो, एक्यूरेसी आएगी आपके काम में. वेरी गुड. इफ आई फॉलो रूल्स, माई एक्शंस विल बी एक्यूरेट, चांसेस ऑफ एरर आर लेस. पहली बात तो. व्हाट इज द अदर बेनिफिट ऑफ फॉलोइंग रूल्स? प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी. दिस इज द, यही बोला ना आपने, क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ डिसीजन मीन्स एक्यूरेसी. प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी. What is predictability in decision making? Agar if I am following rules, I become rational, and if I become rational, you will see this predictability in my working and in the working of the whole organization. So tell me, what is the meaning of predictability here? With example. Yes, very good. An example. Predictability का example दो सर. क्या चीज? बहुत बढ़िया, वेरी गुड. आई सिंप्लीफाई इट फर्दर. सी दिस थिंग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ ही हैज टू गो टू डीएम, और सपोज आई एम डीएम एंड ही हैज कम टू मी फॉर अ सर्टिफिकेट. इन्हें एक सर्टिफिकेट बनवाना है, एंड ही knows that his certificate is to be made. Can I reject him giving the certificate? If he is eligible to get the certificate, can I as a DM reject his certificate? No. And if I do that, he will question me or not? Because he came to me after reading all the rules, and I am also following the rules. So as per the rules, he is qualified to get the certificate. And in case I say no, I will not give you the certificate, he will question me. How can you not give me the certificate? As per the rules, you are bound to give me, and you are also bound to follow rules. तो तुम्हें सर्टिफिकेट मुझे देना ही पड़ेगा. Means from home itself, he will have this knowledge whether his work will be done or not. If he is not qualified to get the certificate, then also he will know. Yes, I don't have the qualification to get the certificate. Because DM or any civil servant, he will work according to rules. तो जब रूल्स होते हैं तो आपको पता होता है कि हाउ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन विल डील विद यू. और एग्जांपल लो सर. यू लिव इन राजेंद्र नगर. You moved out 2 o'clock midnight after taking water. पानी पी के घूम रहे हो, पुलिस आती दिखी, पुलिस वैन. Will you be fearful now? No, because police is also kind of bureaucracy or not, and they have to follow rules to be rational. And there is no crime to walk on the road 2 o'clock midnight after taking water. कोई प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी ना उसके अंदर. बट अदरवाइज डर रहता है इनको, बिकॉज एज पर रूल्स इट इज नॉट अलाउड. अंडरस्टैंड सर? प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी से ही बोलते हैं. हाउ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन विल डील विद यू, यू नो दिस वेरी वेल, and predictability of your interaction with administration is there, because administration which is run by bureaucrats or civil servant is following rules. ये तो ये बात हो गई. Good thing about following rules. Anything bad also about following? और एक चीज और है, one more thing, one more benefit of following rules. One more benefit of bureaucrats following rules. हाँ जी, आप बताओ. Unbiased. If I am a bureaucrat, I will be unbiased or not? क्योंकि रूल ऐसे बने. आप ये देखो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, I belong to one religion, he belongs to opposite religion or other religion, and he belongs to my religion. Both have come to me. Will I favor one person because he's of my religion? No, I will not favor anybody. I will do the work who is qualified to get the work done, because I am following rules, and rules have been developed scientifically, which provides for no bias towards or against anybody. किसी भी रिलीजन का आदमी है, रूल्स तो सबके लिए बराबर है, and I am following rules, so I will not be unbiased in my treatment towards people. And then people will start having more faith in the system or not? Only when civil servants become rational, people will have faith on them. अगर वो अपने इमोशन से ड्रिवन हो जाएंगे, if they become driven by the emotions, people will lose faith on them or not? But unfortunately this is always not found. बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे इसको. राइट डाउन. effort to become rational, effort to become rational, effort to become rational causes the civil servants, oblique bureaucrats, anything, to look for rules while they work, to look for rules while they work, which increases predictability, in the system. Let me tell you, in governance, if you do not give examples, it will have no meaning writing these things. Example के साथ लिखना है आपको. Reduces corruption and chances of errors. गलतियां भी कम होगी and chances of errors. However, rational बनने के चक्कर में, however in the quest to become rational, bureaucrats oblique civil servants become so dependent और obsessed with rules. हर छोटी छोटी चीजों के लिए रूल बुक खोल लेते हैं. Become so much obsessed with rules that it becomes an end in itself. रूल फॉलो करना अपने आप में एंड बन जाता है. It becomes an end in itself. END, end in itself. And causes rigidity in the system. If I am a bureaucrat and I keep looking for rules for every small action which I have to take, will you not see rigidity in my action? Example, बताओ सर example दो. How do you see bureaucrats becoming rigid in their quest to become rational? हाँ बताओ सर. If someone takes photograph of the DM तो मेल DM और फीमेल DM. फीमेल में तो होगा ही यार. चलो छोड़ो, कंट्रोवर्शियल है. देखो ये चीज देखो आप. पेशेंट, आई एम नॉट गवर्नमेंट डॉक्टर, आई एम ब्यूरोक्रेट और नॉट? ब्यूरोक्रेट हूं या सिविल सर्वेंट हूं? बोथ. Because civil servant is also a bureaucrat. If I am a government doctor, I am a bureaucrat and also I am a civil servant. Health ministry में हूँ. An accident victim came to me. एक severe accident हुआ. Victim came to me. What will be my first response? Form भरा कि नहीं भरा? Till the time पुलिस बुलाई कि नहीं बुलाई? Now till the time police arrives or the form is filled, the vacancy in the स्वर्ग will get filled or not? वो यहाँ से ऊपर चले जाएगा. Purpose defeated. Purpose of me becoming doctor was to serve the human, to serve the society. But in the quest to follow the rules, which asked me to fill the form first, I lost a precious life or not? ये problem है. Rigid हो गया मैं. I will not touch the patient till the time for, and this is a reality. Though now Supreme Court gave directions that this should not be done. You start the treatment as soon as you get the patient. Do not wait for the forms to be filled. This is after the Supreme Court direction, which is, but still many doctors become rigid. Apart from becoming rigid, there is another problem. If you as a bureaucrat start looking for rules always, rules पे आपकी over dependence की वजह से एक problem और होती है. What is that problem? No innovation. Very good, sir. No innovation or innovation gets suppressed. Example? मैं आपको देता हूं example. See, have you seen the movie? ये देखिए एक डॉक्टर की मौत. अरे इट्स नॉट अ सी ग्रेड और ई ग्रेड मूवी. इट्स अ क्लासिक. बिलीव मी, इट्स अ क्लासिक. पंकज कपूर बहुत बढ़िया. हाँ, शबाना आजमी. दिस इज अ वेरी गुड मूवी. यू गो एंड वॉच ऑन द यूट्यूब टुडे इटसेल्फ. आज ही जाके देखना. एक डॉक्टर की मौत. Here, and this is based on true story, where you will understand how rules can cripple innovation. It actually happened that there is a doctor, you know, which is the country where the first test tube baby was born? IVF, in vitro fertilization. कहाँ हुआ था सबसे पहले? UK. ठीक है ना? And after that, which was the second country where test tube baby was given birth? India, Indira. The problem is that we could have taken the credit for being the country which gave this beautiful technology. Today IVF is so common, but the time when IVF was formed, it was kind of a miracle or not? अजूबा ही था ये अपने आप में. But it was not actually the British scientist actually who took Oscar also for that. Not Oscar. Nobel for that. ये थे डॉक्टर मुखर्जी in Calcutta. He was the pioneer in this field, but thankfully the dependence of the Indian bureaucrats in the health department on the rules, his innovation and he himself got lost because of this over dependence on rules. हुआ ये that he started, though in the movie they have shown him working on the problem of plague, not problem of plague, leprosy, sorry. Actually, he was working on IVF. In reality, this is a true story. He was working on IVF technology and he was using the simplest of equipments. For example, refrigerator at home, stove at home जिस पे खाना बनाते हैं, and some help from some private labs. Okay, and the problem was that he was a government doctor. सरकारी डॉक्टर होने के नाते there were some rules attached to him. Code of conduct बोलते हैं उसको. If you are a government doctor and you have to start a research, you have to take permission from your department. Otherwise, you cannot start a research. But then he started a research at his home using the simplest equipments. सरकार से कोई ज़्यादा मदद नहीं ली इन्होंने. And he developed a technology IVF successfully. Then he went to the department, or the department came to know about this. They summoned him. इधर आओ. What are you doing? He said nothing. I came up with the technology IVF. They said agreed IVF तो ठीक है. But हमें ये बताओ, did you take permission from the department? He said, sorry, I did not know that I have to take permission, and I did not take permission. They said, then you violated the rules. So first of all, we will not recognize your work. Secondly, we will also take action against you. Work तो छोड़ो, आपके खिलाफ action लेंगे. अब ये गलत है कि नहीं है? And he, till the time he could convince them that, see, my work is so noble that even if I have actually forgotten to follow a few specific rules, please condone my action. Please forgive me and let my work be recognized. But they did not agree. Until the time they got convinced by pressure from various quarters, somebody else actually got his work patented, that I have also got the work done. And it was said that he actually borrowed the work of Mr. Dr. Mukherjee. और उसके लिए उनको मिला नोबल, और इन्हें क्या मिला? He committed suicide. भाई बात भी सच है. You spend your whole life after this such a noble quest, creative work, and you did not get recognition at all. In fact, you were harassed, hounded by the bureaucratic department, which was obsessed by rules. यार रूल में तो ये लिखा है आपको ऐसा करना चाहिए. They should have actually seen this also. What was the intention of Dr. Mukherjee? क्या इनकी इंटेंशन खराब थी? Was he running a nuclear program at his home? वो तो नहीं था ना, प्लूटोनियम थोड़ी ना जमा किया था. He should have been actually forgiven in this case, because देखो प्रॉब्लम ये है, bureaucrats sometimes they become so much obsessed with the end है rule following. They become so much obsessed with the means है rule following, that they take it like an end itself. उनको लगता है कि rule follow करना ही हमारा काम है. अरे ultimately these rules are also formed for the benefit of the society. If somehow benefit of the society is coming even after, to some extent, bypassing the rules, you should actually allow that. Flexibility होनी चाहिए. Though I am not saying flexibility should itself become a rule or it should become a common practice, but kabhi kabhi you should actually behave like human also. And we lost him बिकॉज ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आर ऑब्सेस्ड बाय रूल्स. यही नुकसान है. क्रिएटिविटी खत्म हो गई कि नहीं होगी? नॉट ओनली ही लॉस्ट हिज क्रिएटिविटी, वी ऑल्सो लॉस्ट मोटिवेशन टू पुट क्रिएटिव वर्क इन फ्यूचर. छोड़ो यार, we'll lose 10 years of our life, we'll lose so much of money, why should not we enjoy life? सरकार से तनख्वाह लो और ऐश करो. You see the movie and you understand the plight. Okay, write down. Rigidity causes rigidity. Start from wherever you left. Causes rigidity and brings down innovation. एक तो rigidity आ जाएगी और innovation भी खत्म हो जाएगी. And brings down innovation or creativity in the system. However, following rules leaves little room for personal discretion. Discretion means I took this decision using my own wisdom. और वो तो corrupt भी हो सकती है. Leaves very little room for discretion. Which might bring corruption. Which might bring down corruption. Which might bring down corruption. उससे corruption तो कम हो जाएगी. And may maintain ऑर्डर ऑल्सो. सब काम रूटीन से चल रहा है, ऑर्डर है सब जगह. एंड में मेंटेन ऑर्डर ऑल्सो. हाउएवर प्रॉब्लम कब आएगी? ये देखो, सी दिस, अप्रिशिएट दिस फैक्ट. ऑल ऑफ अस आर ब्यूरोक्रेट. हम सब ब्यूरोक्रेट हैं एंड वी फॉलो रूल्स फॉर एवरी स्मॉल स्टेप विच वी टेक. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सिस्टम देयर इज अ ऑर्डर. क्योंकि कब कहां पे क्या कर रहा है एवरीबडी नोज and they know equally well. कोई उसमें सब्जेक्टिविटी का स्कोप नहीं है. बट दिस इज गुड व्हेन सिस्टम इज ओके, जब सब कुछ शांत है. सपोज देयर इज अ सिचुएशन व्हिच इज न्यू टू अस, प्रॉब्लम विल बी देयर और नॉट. एक ऐसी समस्या हमारे सामने है जो नई है. द प्रॉब्लम इज नोवल इन नेचर. एक नई प्रॉब्लम है. विल यू बी एबल टू डील विद दैट? बट यू आर अ ब्यूरोक्रेट हु इज ऑब्सेस्ड बाय रूल्स. हर चीज के लिए आप रूल बुक खोल के बैठ जाते हो. You encountered a situation which is novel, new. Will you be in a position to deal with that? नहीं. क्योंकि why? Because rule books has got no mention of this situation. This actually happened in Maharashtra 26/11. 26/11 attack हुए कि नहीं हुए? 26/11 attack, what happened? Terrorists came. अबे वो क्या है? पाकिस्तान, they sit and they keep innovating new and new means. नहीं, वो सारा दिन यही दिमाग चलाते हैं कैसे अटैक किया जाए. दे केम थ्रू सी विच वॉज नेवर सीन बिफोर इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडियन सिक्योरिटी. केम थ्रू सी, अटैक मुंबई, दे स्प्रेड ऑल अक्रॉस द मुंबई सिटी. ठीक है. रूल बुक डिड नॉट हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ अ सिनेरियो whereby if this attack takes place and the terrorists are coming on land through sea, which agency will deal with them first? Will it be Navy? Will it be the Coast Guard? Will it be the Marcos? Will it be the police? Or will it be the energy commandos? कौन उनसे पहले डील करेगा? Or in this situation, when multiple agencies are to be coordinated to deal with the attack, who will coordinate the final, coordination? वो कौन करेगा? This was not given in the rule book, क्योंकि ऐसा अटैक तो कभी हुआ ही नहीं था. And when it actually took place, it was found after the committee studied this whole episode, they found that there was a utter chaos, confusion among the security personnel themselves. Many were sitting in the control room, they were giving some directions which were not followed by other, because everybody had their own kind of way to deal with the situation. Police was not listening to Coast Guard was not listening to Marcos, Marine Commandos, and they were not listening to other people. Security agencies तो बहुत सारी थी, but how to bring coordination? Rule तो था ही नहीं. And everybody was confused. Because they were not trained to deal with the novel situation. उनको यही सिखाया गया था, हर बात के लिए रूल बुक खोलो and follow the rules. प्रॉब्लम हो गई. After that 2611 attack, now we have a full protocol. उसके बाद बनाया गया ये protocol that if in future you encounter this situation, this will be the agency which will deal with this situation first. After that this will agency come as a backup, और उसके बाद ये आएगी. पूरा protocol दिया गया उसके अंदर, so that in future you can follow this rule or protocol. But तब तो problem हो गई ना. In future tomorrow you will have another new problem. तब कैसे deal करोगे? फिर वही confusion, because you have been trained to follow rules, which is good in normal times, but in creative times, new situation, it is a problem in itself. यही लिखा है आपने. But it can handicap a bureaucrat. But it can handicap a bureaucrat in novel means new, novel, in a novel situation. novel, new, novelty से, novel situation. See why I am using the word DM, because here I am discussing senior civil services. Otherwise even a peon is a civil servant. ठीक है ना? Question can come regarding higher civil services. He might ask you to write good and bad about higher civil services. So I am using the word DM again, because chances वही हैं. आप बताओ, tomorrow when you become DM, you will get funding also. भाई आपके ऑफिस में पैसा तो आएगा ना. How will you run a DM office without money? For welfare activities you will get money or not? Funding आएगी बहुत सारी, in crores, hundreds of crore rupees. How much, if X money has come to your office, how much will actually be your money? आपका नहीं होगा. And when you become DM, what all will you own once you enter inside the office? बताओ सर, क्या क्या own करोगे जब आप ऑफिस में घुसोगे? Decision making power. Very good. हाँ, वही डिसीजन के थ्रू इंप्लीमेंट भी कर देंगे. एनी अदर थिंग विच यू विल ओन वंस यू बिकम डीएम? हाँ जी, लिस्ट तो बनाई होगी ना आपने. बताओ सर. हाँ बोलो यार, शर्माने की जरूरत नहीं, बताओ जल्दी. हाँ जी, व्हाट ऑल विल यू ओन वंस यू बिकम डीएम? रिसोर्सेज, जैसे कि रिसोर्सेज लाइक स्टाफ और कार. बिल्कुल सही बात है. हाउस, और यू कुड हैव सेड बंगलो आल्सो. कुक भी. Any other thing which you will own once you become DM or enter into higher civil services or lower civil services? Responsibility भी आएगी. और कुछ? Faith of the people. और कुछ सर? और खत्म. सी, आई सेड वंस यू बिकम डीएम व्हाट ऑल विल यू ओन. अब ओन में आप देखो, विल यू एक्चुअली ओन द स्टाफ? दैट इज अ ह्यूमन राइट वायलेशन. ठीक है, कार को भी ओन नहीं कर पाएंगे. वो कार है सरकार की. कार बिलोंग्स टू सरकार. दिस कार इज गिवन टू यू एज अ फैसिलिटेटर to help you work better. 24/7 the car is in your service. But problem is that when people become civil servant, they feel that these things actually belong to me. When money has been given to a DM to manage a flood situation in the district, he feels when, for example, when 1500 crore rupees has come, वैसे इतने आते नहीं है बट चलो 1500 crore rupees has come, थोड़ा सा तो मेरा भी हक बनता है. No, this kind of feeling is there. They feel that money तो मेरी जेब में आया. Supreme Court has also taken a tough stance in this direction. This orientation of civil servant. उनको ये लगता है कार के ऊपर बोला सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने. Supreme Court gave a big lecture on car. It happens that these civil servants, they use the car. Once they reach home, what they do? They hand over the keys to wife or mother or whosoever. उनको दे देते हैं, जाओ अब तुम्हारा टाइम शुरू हो गया. Now this is wrong. You should understand the difference. इसको समझो. There is a difference between your public life and private life or personal life. उसके बीच में difference होना चाहिए. But then this is something which is missing. However, this is the feature of civil services or bureaucracy. In civil services or bureaucracy, you should understand what is the thin line between your private life and public life or official life. At this moment, my public life is with me, but at this moment, my private life is to be left outside the office. ये resources office के लिए हैं, and I am myself not the office. I am just a part of office. It also is seen that many civil servants, they feel that I am office myself. जो office का है सब मेरा है, because मैं ही तो office हूँ. But no, this is not the case. Today you are using the car as a support arrangement. Tomorrow you will go, somebody else will use the same car. Today you are in office, tomorrow you will go, somebody else will occupy the same position. As a civil servant, you will own only two things. One is responsibility. You have a list of duties or not? ये आपका काम है, ये आपका काम है. वो आपके साथ ही है. You cannot give it to somebody else. The other thing is decision making, of course, because unless you have authority, how will you fulfill the responsibility? तो दो ही चीज आपके साथ चलेंगी. And you should understand this. Do not mix your private life with your public life. And always you have to think that even if I have become a civil servant, I am not owning these things. These things are only facilitator and given to me till the time I am in office. The day I leave the office, these things are to be returned. ठीक है sir? Write down. Next feature. Next feature is separation of public and private office. Separation of public and private office. Civil servants do not own or even think owning. सोचना भी पाप है इस बारे में. Means orientation नहीं होनी चाहिए ऐसी. Or even think owning what belongs to his office. What belongs to his office. Whether resources or the prestige of the office. Because today he is occupying the office. Today he is occupying the office. Tomorrow somebody else will. कल कोई और होगा उसकी जगह. So the office of bureaucracy is not tied to an individual. Bureaucracy is this. Bureaucracy is accountable to whom? Minister. Also called as political master. Bureaucracy is accountable to political masters. And political masters are accountable to whom? People. I'll explain how. Don't worry. He is, देखो इधर देखो, he is accountable to him and he is accountable to him. It means he is ultimately accountable to people of India. Now see, what is the meaning of this? You have to understand this. Do not write now. Just listen. हुआ ये that there is a law and order problem, sir, in this city. यहाँ पे law and order problem हो गया. A big incident took place. A brutal crime took place in Delhi. ठीक है? People came out in protest on streets. लोग सड़कों पे आ गए. When they came on streets, for example, somebody was brutally assaulted. When people came on street, they demanded what? Justice. From whom? Home Minister. Very good. जब लोग सड़कों पे आए, they did not want anything from anyone. They want one thing from one person, is the Home Minister. You take action against the culprit. देखो, demand यहां से शुरू हुई है. Crime took place. People went to question the political machinery. मंत्री जी आप बताओ ऐसा हुआ क्यों? And not only they are asking him question, they are also punishing him in the elections. अगली बार हटा देंगे इसको. शिवराज पाटिल, he was the Home Minister of India. महाराष्ट्र ने इंडिया के थे वो. Number of blasts took place, and he was actually, when the blast took place, he was seen in various interviews to be wearing different clothings. Within a span of 15 minutes, he changed it thrice. Many people have already died, and questions were raised by people against the minister. People have died because of your lack of control on the police, and you are busy changing clothes in this situation. How can you even think कि यार ये match नहीं हो रहा situation से? Very bad. He had to resign under that pressure. लोगों ने इतना protest किया that people put pressure on him. He had to resign as a home minister. ठीक है ना? So when there is a problem, देखो ध्यान से सुनना. When there is a problem at this level, politicians are not doing their work properly. Who will hold them accountable? People. People will not only question them, okay, why are you not working properly? They will also punish them. They will also remove them from office. खुद ही हटा देंगे उनको. If not now, in next election. Means politicians are accountable to people. ये तो ये बात हुई. Can you actually remove the police commissioner also? By police is of course under the control of police commissioner. And when there is a crime has taken place, who should be held responsible? Police commissioner. Can you remove him? No, you cannot remove him. At best, what you can do is question him. Suspend थोड़ी ना कर सकते हो आप, question कर सकते हो. रटा लगाया हुआ ऐसा पुराना. At best, you can question him. Commissioner साहब, आपकी पुलिस क्या कर रही थी when the crime took place? You cannot remove him from office. But that means Commissioner of Police is answerable to you. He is not accountable to you. But there is one person who can not only question him, he can also remove him. Who is that one person? Home Minister. Home Minister will not only question the commissioner or any officer, inspector को भी question कर सकता है वो चाहे तो. He will not only question him, he will also dismiss him from service if he finds that he was at fault. Means this bureaucracy, police commissioner or inspector, they are accountable to whom? Minister, political class. तो ये chain ऐसी चल रही है. Bureaucrats are accountable to the political class. Political class people are accountable to people. It means indirectly bureaucrats are accountable to people. अब आप ये देखो, when assault took place in Delhi, police commissioner was removed by home minister. Do not write, listen. Police commissioner is removed by home minister. Who put pressure on the home minister to remove the commissioner? लोगों ने तो किया ना. It means indirectly commissioner was punished by whom? People. Indirectly commissioner was accountable to people. This concept is called as political accountability. Bureaucracy or civil services is politically or democratically accountable to people of this country, if not directly then indirectly. ये तो ये बात हुई. Which is that institution in this democratic country which is not accountable to people of this country directly or indirectly? Election Commission, RBI, any other thing? President, गवर्नर. एक पूछा था, बताए चले जा रहे हो. जुडिशरी चलो. Sir, you agree with them? I asked, which is that one office which is not accountable to people of this country directly or indirectly? अब आप ये देखो, president. Is president of this country not accountable to people? है? President can be impeached or not? भाई president को ऑफिस से हम हटा सकते हैं. हम मतलब not we. It will be the MPs who will remove the president. और MP कौन है? हम ही तो है. MPs are in parliament because of us. They are our reflection. When MPs remove the president, it means we have removed the president. Means president is accountable to us indirectly. ये तो accountable है. इसको ले लो, election commission or judiciary, judges also are removed by the parliament or not? Supreme Court, High Court judges are removed by the parliament. And when they are removed by the parliament, when they are removed by the MPs in parliament, it means we have removed him. Because parliament is nothing but the reflection of people of India only. Everybody can be removed from office if they are not as per the requirement of the office. If they are not conducting as per the requirement of the office. मतलब ऐसा कोई आदमी नहीं है और लोगों की नजर है. People are watching them. And how are people watching the conduct of these people? Through media, through various reports, through RTI, है कि नहीं है? Through civil society organization. ठीक है सर? There is no office in India which is not democracy है India. There is no office in India which is not directly or indirectly accountable to people of this country. Okay, write down. So civil servants कैसे हो सकते हैं unaccountable? Civil servants oblique bureaucrats. Why I say oblique? Because question can come in any way. Civil servants oblique bureaucrats are directly accountable to people, directly accountable to the political masters. Or people's representatives. And these political masters are in turn accountable to people. Thus, the civil servants are accountable to people of this country even if indirectly. Thus fulfilling the basic demand of democracy. Thus fulfilling the basic demand of democracy. Where every office is accountable to people. Where every office is accountable to people. ठीक है सर. Now as somebody said some time back, थोड़े टाइम पहले किसी ने बोला इसी क्लास में, that civil servant when they follow rules they become impartial. Let me tell you, impartial का मतलब क्या होता है? Impartial, what is the meaning of impartial, sir? Yes, impartial means not taking sides or not being biased in the favor or against somebody. ना तो मैं आपके फेवर में हूं ना इनके फेवर में हूं. किसके फेवर में हूं? रूल्स. If you are wrong, you will be punished. If he is wrong, he will be punished. If you are right, you will be rewarded, and that way with him. ठीक है सर? इसे कहते हैं impartiality. Now somebody said, yes, if you follow rules, you will remain impartial. But let me tell you one thing. Man is not only driven by rules, he is also driven by something else. उसको भी साइड में रखना पड़ेगा if you want to be impartial. Conscience, सिंपल आप बोल सकते हो ये. इमोशंस, उसको साइड रखना पड़ेगा कि नहीं सर? Can you not actually get influenced by your own emotions and you unintentionally become biased? But then the people who read the features of bureaucracy, who was that person? Max Weber, famous person Max Weber. He found that civil servants are actually not driven by emotions. In fact, by following rules, it happens that they become so much like machine. मशीन की तरह बन के रह जाते हैं वो लोग. ठीक है सर? Getting this or not? अब वो कैसे है? Impartial. See this. And you tend to become partial. ये भी तो है. अब आप देखो सर, you became DM of particular city. साउथ मुंबई के DM बन गए आप. Famous for the residencies of film stars. एक से बढ़कर एक है वहां पे. Otherwise, you are a very good DM, working as per the rules, abiding the policies, this and that, favoring, nobody is favored by you, nobody is actually mistreated by him. One fine day, a big personality came to your office, and today is a test of your emotions. पाजी आ गए. For a work, of course, उनका भी तो काम पड़ता है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तो सेम ही है. What will you do? Stand up because he is a heavyweight person. खड़े हो जाओगे उनके रेस्पेक्ट में? No. Yes नहीं सर. अगर आप yes बोल रहे हो, if you are saying yes, then you have actually started to be partial. यहीं से शुरुआत हो गई. Let anybody come. ये तो सिर्फ एक एग्जाम्पल था. Let anybody come. कोई भी आ जाए A to Z. You should not be influenced by his presence, his stature or his strata in the society or his caste, उसका religion, his gender, whatever. Work only as per rules. और उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to control your emotions. और वो सिखाया जाएगा आपको. Once you are in the service, they will teach you how not to be influenced by your emotions. But then this is the problem. If we see a general man, he will always be influenced by his emotions. But the people who read the features of bureaucracy, they found this thing. यार हमेशा ये देखा गया है that these bureaucrats are very cold. They are not driven by emotions. आप डॉक्टर्स को ले लो. To some extent, don't we feel that they are without emotions? But then this is the beauty of their work. If they become emotional, will they able be to treat the patient? No. मुश्किल हो जाएगा उनके लिए. So same is with civil servant. They have to be like a doctor. They have to treat the problems of society. And for that they have to control their own emotions. अपने emotions पे काबू नहीं है तो partial तो हो ही जाओगे. He came to me for work and he belongs to my religion. क्या होगा? अच्छा emotion जाग जाएगा. This is wrong. If this is a rural India setting, I am the DM. He belongs to my caste and I am myself coming from a caste ridden background. So what will happen? Again emotions. Oh, this person is coming and he belongs to my caste. कभी कभी लोग बोलते भी हैं, sir, I am from that caste. But then if you have become bureaucrat, you should actually not get influenced by this factor that the person who is coming to you for work is from that religion or which caste or which gender, which race, place of birth. कोई मतलब नहीं होना चाहिए. तभी तो आएगी आर्टिकल 14, right to equality. हाँ बोलो सर. If somebody has a title भारत रत्न फिर हाँ कहाँ लिखा है कि if भारत रत्न has come you have, खड़े होने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है यार. खड़े होने का मतलब ये नहीं था that you are just standing on your seat. The problem is that you are giving special treatment to him. वो नहीं करना है. For example, he is eligible to get the certificate. I just ignore him. I start making certificate for him. अरे इनके लिए बनाओ पहले, मैं खुद बनाता हूं. No. It should not be the case. यही तो आपको बता रहा हूं मैं. खड़े होने का मतलब ये नहीं कि you just stood. उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, चाहे भारत रत्न आए या सैफ खान आए, कोई टेंशन नहीं. Write down. Civil servants work impartially. That is not biased for or against anyone. Which can happen, not biased for or against anyone, which can happen when the civil servant or the bureaucrat, of course, does not involve his personal feelings, personal, individual, अपनी खुद की feeling. He may be a big fan of Sunny Deol. Personal feelings towards the issue, or an individual. While discharging the official functions. Now, when you keep your emotions aside when you work, what do you become? नहीं machine, English word. Impersonal, personality खत्म. भाई यही तो है. See, this is true, and you know why I am explaining you so much, because you have to write these things in exam. हर एंगल से आपको लिखना है चीजों के बारे में. Somebody who actually studied them very well, he said, after working in the system में काम कर करके they lose their self. अब आप ये देखो, every time I keep my emotions aside, हर बार अपनी emotions को साइड रख देता हूं. सनी जी came and I did not show any emotion. एकदम ऐसे काम पे काम, बस ध्यान. Issue erupted. I did not take cognizance कि क्या issue है, ठीक है यार, I have to work. Rule book खोली, देखा, काम किया, खत्म. When you perform this way your duty for 20, 35 years, will you not actually become kind of emotionless? Emotions तो खत्म. Myself is nothing but my emotions. मेरा attitude, my emotions, my attitude is what make me me. और उसी को if I am just keeping it aside and working for so long, after some time I lose myself. Personality खत्म. Only thing I learn is to follow the rules and work accordingly. Okay, in fact, a scholar has said this, Max Weber himself, that these people lose the personality so much that he gave this character a name, prostitution of personality. You sell the personality and in return what you get? Welfare of the society. खुद की personality छोड़ के you have earned the society's welfare. Understood, sir? Right now. That is after becoming impersonal, they become impartial. Did you see this episode on TV? देखो सिर्फ जूते दिखाए हैं इसमें मैंने. Did you see this episode on TV? If not, then I think it must be available on YouTube right now also. A former CM of one state of India, very big state, it was seen that when the CM landed from the chopper, helicopter से जब वो उतरे, there was a DSP waiting there, and as he saw the CM, he pounced on the CM, और he took out his cloth, जेब से रुमाल निकाला, and he wiped off the shoe of the CM in full public view. अब क्या प्रॉब्लम है? कोई टेंशन नहीं है. अरे आई रेस्पेक्ट यू सो मच. I am DSP agreed, but I respect the CM so much. I took out my own and wiped off the shoe. तो ये गलत बात है क्या? Why it is wrong? हाँ इमोशंस आ गए, but then he or she must be my elder. तो क्या हो गया अगर बड़े आदमी के जूते साफ कर भी दिए तो? बताओ सर क्या प्रॉब्लम है? ऑन ड्यूटी था. डिसरिस्पेक्ट फॉर? वेरी गुड. ये डीएसपी ही नहीं था. दिस डीएसपी वॉज एक्चुअली रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ अ कंप्लीट ऑफिस. इवन इफ देयर इज अ ह्यूज एज गैप, और इवन इफ द अदर पार्टी इज वट एवर इज एन योर आइडल और कुछ भी है, you are not an individual now. You are representative of an office, big office. And when you do this in full public view, what will people feel? बहुत डेंजर हो जाएगा कि नहीं हो जाएगा? And not only he is bringing insult to this office, there is one more problem which is much bigger. बताओ सर क्या इससे बड़ी समस्या क्या है? यहाँ जूते साफ करने में टेंशन नहीं है हमको, but the problem is something else. बोलो. पार्शियलिटी का डर है आपको? अरे वो डिग्निटी तो ठीक है, वो बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने. बोलो. व्हाट इमेज? CM tomorrow can influence him to do any wrong. Excellent. UP, I am taking this example. आप UP लिख सकते हो, but then do not write the name of the individual in the examination. I wrote the name because you can understand then only. UP is famous for many things. One thing which is very much seen in UP is caste based politics. वो होती है वहां पे, legally accepted भी है. Caste based politics is something which is very much in, उसमें कोई doubt भी नहीं है. Now see, this is the problem when he wiped off the shoe of the CM. See this thing. और वो कोई भी हो सकता है CM. For example, this is the CM of this particular state who belongs to a caste X. वो caste X को belong करता है. You belong to caste Y, and caste X and caste Y are not at good terms with each other. दोनों में आपस में बनती भी नहीं है. In fact, they are antagonistic. Okay, ऐसा situation है. This DSP, he wiped off the shoe of the CM in full public view. Now tomorrow you get entangled in a crime. कल एक crime होता है and you have to approach the police and you have to approach the same DSP. Will you be very comfortable now? बोलो. No, because you know one thing. What? क्या जानते हो आप? You know that you belong to caste Y and you have to approach this DSP. This DSP is very much biased. जो publicly जूते साफ कर सकता है, it is proof that he is biased. Then he is biased in the favor of the CM. And this caste Y is not on good books, not in the good books of the CM himself or the party of the CM. कास्ट का नाम देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, सीएम का नाम देने की जरूरत नहीं है. मोरओवर आई एम नॉट टेकिंग दैट एग्जांपल आल्सो. दिस इज अ जनरल डिस्कशन, सो अंडरस्टैंड दैट वे. उनको ये भी डर है दैट आवर कास्ट इज नॉट इन गुड बुक्स ऑफ द कास्ट ऑफ द सीएम और द पार्टी. तो क्या होगा? यू फील दैट इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग प्रोटेक्शन द डीएसपी विल एक्चुअली इंप्लीकेट यू. ये होगा कि नहीं होगा? सर विल यू नॉट बी फियरफुल? यस. रीजन? You know one thing, that this DSP is very much, partial. He is biased in the favor of रूलिंग सीएम और द रूलिंग पार्टी, तो आपको तो ट्रीटमेंट अच्छा देगा ही नहीं, ये एक चीज है. एंड दिस एक्चुअली वॉज हाईलाइटेड इन वन ऑफ द केसेस. ये देखो, I am starting a new concept. So for this is for that only. What is this? Banda nahi, this is Banda. Banda is a place in Uttar Pradesh, UP, a district in Uttar Pradesh. This is a real story. It happened that the ruling party MLA, he sexually assaulted the maid who used to come to his house for work, and he kept her captive for 2 days. But then somehow she slipped and she went directly to the police station to lodge the complaint. The inspector said, I will not write the complaint. Mana kar diya usne, because of course the lady was poor and the complaint was against whom? Ruling party MLA. Mana kar diya usne. Then thinking that I have come to a wrong place and somebody higher up, more educated, should be approached. She approached whom? SP के पास गई सीधा. IPS था. Thinking that he will give justice to me because he's coming from a good family, good values and educated also. This SP, you know what he did? क्या किया उसने? He called upon the ruling party office that elections are coming. आज की बात नहीं, it is 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago. He called the ruling party office and told them that, see, I have got a complainant against you who has got this such a grave charge against one of your MLAs, and if I let her loose right now, you will certainly lose elections on many seats, if not all. नुकसान होगा आपको. Ruling party office, of course, they told him, do not let the girl get loose. You ensure, and we will also ensure you rewards after that. This girl, instead of getting justice, was actually put behind the bar by the same SP. उसी ने उसको जेल में डाल दिया, and the charge was mobile theft. She was blamed of stealing the mobile of the MLA, and she remained behind the bars. Imagine the case when you yourself are victim of the worst crime possible on earth, and you yourself are now suffering, languishing behind the jail. What kind of trauma you will go through? Here comes the role of one more party called as media. एक चैनल है तू मैं चैनल, लड़ाई झगड़ा चैनल, which is called as कौन सा? Times Now. Times Now, they started this campaign and they took this pledge that we are going to get this girl released, and until she is released, we will not stop flashing the caption. एक caption चला रहे थे that this girl is behind the bars for the fault of the MLA, and they were running it 24/7. And after every 2-3 hours, they were running the same program also, exclusively for her. And they took the pledge that until the girl is released, we will not stop it, no matter how many days or years it will pass. Then, the judge also watched the TV or not? So one judge of Supreme Court, he saw that caption, and he suo motu gave the order of what? कौन सी रिट इशू करी? Release the body. उसको release करो. A committee was formed to see into the issue. Committee found the girl was actually innocent. It was the MLA who was the culprit. This SP got suspended and the girl got released, thankfully, with the intervention of judiciary. Did you see one case study? And I am conveying you 3 things. First is the role of media. Times Now is a chuti hu. Then the role of judiciary, which was proactive. They could have said, छोड़ो यार और भी बहुत सारे काम है. But then one thing which I wanted to focus more was, yes, biased behavior of civil servant. He was biased in the favor of ruling party for whatever inducements. Promotion भी हो सकती थी या पैसा भी मिल सकता था, जो भी था. But what I mean to say is that he was not neutral. If you are a biased civil servant, you are not neutral. Neutral gear देखा ना आपने? It will not be tilted towards anyone. It will stand straight as per the rules. If you are an unbiased civil servant, then you are also neutral. I am discussing a concept which is called as this. ये अगला feature है. This is the next feature, next big feature of bureaucracy. सिविल सर्वेंट्स न्यूट्रलिटी, लिखो इसको। सर आप बताओ, सपोज यू आर सीनियर सिविल सर्वेंट, सेक्रेटरी लेवल के आदमी हो आप, बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट इज इन पावर, सेंटर में बीजेपी है, यू सर्व्ड बीजेपी फॉर 5 years, आफ्टर दैट कांग्रेस केम टू पावर, यू सर्व्ड कांग्रेस फॉर 5 years, देन सीपीआई केम टू पावर, आ सकती है सेंटर में, यू नेवर नो, मिरेकल्स डू हैपन, दे केम टू पावर, यू सर्व देम आल्सो फॉर 5 years. व्हाट विल बी योर ड्रेस कोड इन दीज 15 years? क्या पहन के आओगे ऑफिस? बदलोगे नहीं? मतलब सेम मीन्स सैफरन क्लोथ पहन के आओगे क्या बीजेपी के अंडर में? नो. और विल यू स्टार्ट रिसाइटिंग हनुमान चालीसा? नो, ऐसा भी नहीं है. इन अंडर कांग्रेस यू विल नॉट स्टार्ट कमिंग सडनली इन सूट और बूट. जो चल रहा था वही चल रहा है. अंडर सीपीआई विल इट हैपन दैट यू विल कम इन शॉर्ट्स? हथौड़ा लेके थोड़ी ना होगे मजदूरों को रिप्रेजेंट करते हुए. नो. मतलब ये you as a civil servant will not be influenced by the ideology, the personal ideology of the ruling party. रूलिंग पार्टी की कोई भी आइडियोलॉजी हो, आपको उससे मतलब नहीं है. You will work according to rules. Some, for example, some parties seen religious more, no problem. To the extent they are right constitutionally and legally, you obey them. The day they become, say, they cross the limit, you say no to them. सर ये काम गलत है. ये है न्यूट्रल. Whether it is BJP, it is Congress, it is CPI, you are not supposed to be driven by the personal ideology of the ruling party. You work according to rules. If rules and if it is done, then you are a neutral civil सर्वेंट. अगर ऐसा है तो आप कहलाओगे न्यूट्रल सिविल सर्वेंट. देखो, इफ यू आर अ न्यूट्रल सिविल सर्वेंट, इट मींस पहली बात, यू आर नॉट बायस्ड इन द फेवर ऑफ रूलिंग पार्टी और एनी पार्टी. इफ यू आर न्यूट्रल, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है. इफ यू आर न्यूट्रल, देन यू आर अनबायस्ड टुवर्ड्स एनी पार्टी, वेदर इन पावर और इन अपोजिशन. पहली बात. Second thing, when you are in office, you will not be driven by the personal ideology of the ruling party. वो कुछ भी हो चाहे उनकी ideology. You work only as per the rules. Third thing, you will not be influenced by the individual orientation or ideology of any minister. In party also you have people from who are having very different thinking. एक मिनिस्टर की थिंकिंग कैसी है कि कैसी है. If you are a neutral civil servant, you will not be driven by the ideology of the minister individual. And the last thing, आपके ऊपर है मिनिस्टर. You are a civil servant and minister is sitting over you, who is dependent on you for guidance. आपकी गाइडेंस पे तो वो काम करेगा. If you are truly neutral, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. See, if you are truly neutral, then you will give the advice to the minister which is technically right, not just politically right to make him happy. मंत्री जी को खुश करने के लिए एडवाइस मत देना उनको. तो क्या नाराज करने के लिए दें? क्या करने के लिए दें? Which is technically in the favor of country. देश के फेवर में जो है और वो रूल वाइज भी सही है. You give that advice only. Do not give an advice to the minister if you are neutral, which is politically correct but technically wrong. अब मुझे इसका एग्जाम्पल दो. Give me an example of an advice which, of course, must have been given by a civil servant only to the minister, which was politically right but technically wrong. बताओ सर, कोई भी ऐसी एडवाइस which must have been, of course, given by a civil servant to his minister, which was politically तो वो सही थी. Politically right means it brought mileage to the party. पार्टी को फायदा तो हो गया. The minister also became very happy, but it brought misery to the country. बांदा केस भी है, वो तो छोटा सा एक localized केस है ना. Tell me a case which is national level case which affected the life of many. आधार बिल एज मनी बिल, बिल्कुल उससे फर्क पड़ सकता है, बट आधार बिल से भी इतना कोई नुकसान थोड़ी ना यह है. सर रिजर्वेशन तो मैंने क्या बोला था आपको पहले दिन, डू नॉट इन्वॉल्व योर पर्सनल इमोशंस. ठीक है. तो इकोनॉमिक बेसिस पे कहां मिल रहा रिजर्वेशन यार? मैंने क्या बोला था आपको उस दिन भी, इट कैन बी कंटेस्टेड. अभी तो वो बना है एंड इट विल बी कंटेस्टेड श्योरली. देखो I am just writing UPS so that you can understand. Do not write that in exam. Okay, now this happened. UPA 1, UPA 2, you know or not? सरकार फिर दूसरी सरकार दोबारा they came to power. Once the term of UPA 1 was about to finish, they came to know, because of the good work which we put on the ground, we might actually not win the election this time. कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है. Then there suddenly came an idea in the mind of the party that we should come out with a magical scheme. अब वो उनके दिमाग में थोड़ी ना आया होगा. This scheme did not come in the mind of the minister. This scheme must have come in the mind of a civil servant. सर आपको एक आइडिया देता हूं. Finance minister came to office. His bureaucrat, his secretary, finance was sitting there already. This idea must have come. I am taking only a hypothetical example. Do not think that the idea came from his mind only. Okay. Source हमें थोड़ी ना पता है. He must have told him, sir, let's play a card. Let's bring a scheme which will bring us vote. और वो स्कीम क्या थी? Yes. Farm loan waiver scheme. You remember this or not? Government in that year, they said 2008, they said whosoever has taken a farm loan, जिस फार्मर ने भी लोन लिया है, and he is small and marginal farmers, we will not ask back the loan. हम उनसे लोन वापस नहीं मांगेंगे, जो दे दिया दे दिया. Because they actually said that since farmers are so poor, they are not in a position to pay back the loan. Now this action, do you feel it is technically right? Politically right है ये? Yes, it brought vote to the party in power. But then tell me, was this technically right? Problem क्या है इसमें? What are the technical problems in this scheme? देखो, when you waive off the loan completely, which is, you know, what was the cost of this scheme? ये कितने में implement हुई थी? How much money government lost because the loan was waived off? 60,000 crore rupees. It's a big amount or not? ये हमें नहीं आया. What was the technical mistake in this? बताओ सर. नहीं, फिस्कल डेफिसिट तो है. Why do you feel it was actually not a very good scheme? It is a kind of flawed scheme. Yes, it is said if you want to really help somebody, do not give him fish. Give him what? Teach him how to fish himself. अब ये यहाँ यही हुआ. if you actually want to, every financial committee which has been set by the government itself has said, do not provide cheap loan to the farmers, provide them easy loans. उनको सस्ते में लोन दोगे तो वो उसको यूज नहीं करेंगे. Provide them the loan at the market rate, but then provide them easily. Right now the situation is they do not get the loan. Paperwork इतने सारे. लोन तो सस्ते में दो मत और लोन वेवर तो बिल्कुल मत करो. Because here what happens, they do not become self-dependent. They become dependent. You gave them 10,000 rupees loan, they eat it away or they use it, then they feel, oh yeah, this is a very good scheme. Next year also it will come. ये तो नुकसान हो गया. In fact, it was said, Mohan took a loan of 2,000 rupees. Sohan took a loan of 10,000 rupees. Scheme आ गई. Loan waiver, loan सबका माफ. Who will commit suicide? My wife was telling me to take the loan of 20,000 when I just took 2,000 rupees. 8,000 का नुकसान हो गया ना. और अदरवाइज भी आप ये देखो, सोहन भी करेगा, इफ नॉट टुडे टुमारो. This time Sohan took 10,000 rupees. This time he uses for farming. Scheme came. Now he will have this kind of intention or expectation or not. यार इस बार मैं लूंगा, I'll take 50,000 rupees loan. And this time he took more loan and he did not use it also that way. कहाँ खर्च किया? हाँ जो भी है, मतलब हमें क्या. But he did not use the money for farming. समझ रहे हो आप बात? And the result is debt. बोझ भी तले दब गया. It was said that after this scheme came, actually the number of suicides committed by farmers, it increased immensely. तो ये scheme क्या थी? It was technically flawed. And the people who were expected to take the benefit, they did not get the loan waiver actually. The benefit was taken by the big farmers. If I am a rich farmer, I took the benefit of the loan, this scheme. These people could not actually. उनको पता ही नहीं था ऐसी scheme आई भी है. And even if they knew, bank was still harassing them. Scheme का फायदा उनको हुआ नहीं जिनको होना चाहिए था. Government lost 60,000 rupees. 60,000 crore rupees. Many committed suicide also. समझ रहे हो? So this was a kind of scheme which was technically flawed, if not completely wrong, and politically right. An idea must have been given by a civil servant. And now when these kind of ideas are given by a civil servant, can they be called as neutral? No. They are biased. But you gave this idea to do what? To make the minister happy. मंत्री जी को खुश करने के लिए तो आइडिया दिया था आपने. And it is said that civil servants are mostly neutral. It is said that civil servants are neutral. This is a feature of civil services of not only India but across the world. Features ही तो कर रहे हैं ना. We are doing features of civil services. यही लिखा है आपने. Write down the heading दो. Next feature, civil servants neutrality. Civil servants neutrality. And please read every word. आप ही के लिए है ये. Civil servants neutrality. Civil servant must serve the government in power or their political masters in their most competent way. जितनी क्षमता है, in their most competent way, irrespective of very good, irrespective of political party in power. कोई भी पार्टी आ जाए, whether it is BJP, Congress, CPI और जनता दल, irrespective of political party in power. Civil servants neutrality means lack means absence of any political affiliation, lack or absence of any political affiliation or preference shown by the civil servant affiliation or preference shown by a civil servant or getting driven by the personal ideology of the political party. And giving advices to the minister, which is not only politically right, a political wrong भी तो नहीं देनी है, which is not only politically right to please the minister, but also technically right, or sound in the nation's interest. Three main benefits or benefits of neutral civil servants or benefits of civil servants neutrality. क्वेश्चन तो कैसे भी आएगा. Benefits of civil servants neutrality. पहला देखो, if I am a civil servant, I am neutral. मुझे कोई लेने देने नहीं है पार्टी कौन सी पावर में है. I serve everybody alike. What will be the first benefit, sir? बोलो तेज बोलो. Service the nation. Yes, I am serving the nation that way. Other benefit? Yes. Efficiency, very good. Efficiency तो बढ़ेगी. और कुछ? हाँ जी बोलो. Social welfare. Faith of the people. Very good. और कुछ? सब सही बोल रहे हो. But then I just want to see whether you can think something which is not very much obvious. I represented three triangles. Political parties were changing. One thing was not changing. What was that? Civil servant. वो वही है. Machinery, civil services machinery वही है. What do you think will happen if they remain neutral and they are not influenced? Stability. बोलो. Stability आएगी. Continuity to what? Yes. He has used the right word also. ये देखो, see. पहला बेनिफिट ये है. Governance is not only about mugging up the facts. It's also about how far you can think, how deep you can think and give the facts. See, for example, Congress XYZ. ठीक है सर. And civil servants are the same. He said if listen very carefully, you have to appreciate many things which are not very obvious here. He said if civil servants remain neutral, we will get a continuity regarding the development of the country and approach of the country's governance. वो continue तब रह पाएगी. India remain to be India only when the civil servants remain neutral. If neutral matlab they do not get influenced by the personal ideology of the party in power. If only these civil servants remain influenced by the rules of the country or the constitution of the country and they are not influenced by the personal ideology of the party in power, which sometimes may not be in line with the constitution, then only the continuation to India's ideology on philosophy and development can take place. Otherwise India will actually keep changing its colors और जो consistency आती है ना इंडिया में वो lose हो जाएगी. From 1940s to till now, you see everybody when India is being uttered out, they will have a kind of common picture or not in mind. India मतलब उनके दिमाग में क्या आता है? Snake charmers भी हैं और they think about peacekeepers or the people who actually went for naam when the whole world was getting divided between the two camps. है कि नहीं है? अब ये देखो, see, we committed a nuclear blast. पहले हमने nuclear blast किया, and when we did that, which government was in power? Congress. And Congress, after having this blast, they came out with this thing. No first use policy. No first matlab, no first use policy means India will not launch nuclear weapon on any other country even if it is having that. Let the other country launch at us, and if we survive, then we will also attack them. ये है no first use policy. Now see, this policy was formed by Congress. Congress गई, BJP came to power. Did we abandon the policy? No. In spite of the fact that BJP and Congress are from extremely opposite or having 180 degrees ideology. एक ऐसे सोचता है तो दूसरा ऐसे सोचता है. But still, BJP also did not give up the policy which was started by Congress. Then tomorrow, XYZ party will come to power. Do you think this will be given up? No. Why? It is possible that we are continuing with the policy all through these 70 years, even when parties of different flavors and colors are coming to power? Because there is someone who can see the policy from the prism of constitution and the merit of the policy per se. That someone is civil servant who is neutral. उसे इससे कोई मतलब नहीं है who started the policy. Civil servants are not influenced by the fact that who started the policy. It was Indira Gandhi or Congress or BJP. They just read the policy from the perspective of its merit and demerits. If it is in the interest of the country, they will ask the Netaji, please sir, continue with the policy. If they feel this policy is not good, they will tell the minister, sir, this policy is not good, please remove it. मगर ये कौन बोल पाएगा? Who will have this courage? A civil servant who is neutral, who is not there to make the minister happy, who is there to work according to the rules. अब ये no first use policy we are still continuing because civil servants who are well read, who are expert, they know that only because of no first use policy we could have maintained peace in this region. Otherwise it would have brought apprehensions in the mind of China and Pakistan and other countries, and it would have actually led to arms race. वो ऐसा नहीं हुआ because we declared clearly we will not use it first. आप करोगे तो ही हम अटैक करेंगे. ठीक है ना सर? Another example, economic reforms we also I'll discuss tomorrow. Another example is this non-aligned movement was started by whom? Pandit Nehru. और आप बोल सकते हो कांग्रेस for understanding. Okay, in exam do not write this way Congress. You can write one government started this, other did not, scrap it. NAM, non-aligned movement, was started by Congress. In which year? 1950s. It was started. BJP came to power. Janata Dal came to power. Did we abandon NAM? No. Why? Because there is somebody who can read the merit of non-aligned movement and tell them the party coming to power. जब कांग्रेस गई BJP आई, the civil servant who read NAM, he told the BJP, sir, do not even think of scrapping NAM because only because of non-alignment. You know NAM or not? Non-alignment means India remained neutral when there was a cold war going on between two big camps, American camp and Russian camp. We decided to be friends with both and enemy to none. हमने एक अपना ही कैंप बना लिया, नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट, हम किसी के साथ अलाइन नहीं होंगे. ओके, नाउ ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ब्यूटीफुल पॉलिसी वी कुड टेक वेपन्स फ्रॉम अमेरिका, फ्रॉम ब्रिटेन, फ्रॉम फ्रांस इन 1967 एंड साइमल्टेनियसली वी कुड टेक व्हीट फ्रॉम अमेरिका एंड आर्म्स फ्रॉम रशिया. फूड क्राइसिस था, हमने अमेरिका से गेहूं मंगवाया और आर्म्स कहां से मंगवाए? रशिया से. दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ नाम. वी कुड टेक बेनिफिट फ्रॉम बोथ द कैंप्स. Then came BJP to power. Still we told them, we मतलब civil servant. Still civil servant told the BJP, do not scrap NAM. अभी बात चल रही थी. Some time back there was a debate. Let's abandon NAM. Time has gone when NAM had some significance. But आज भी NAM की significance है कि नहीं है? Russia is re-emerging. Russia तो वापस खड़ा हो रहा है. And Russia is, America is still the power. So NAM is in fact more relevant now to maintain the world peace. So नाम की मेरिट कौन समझ पाएगा? सिविल सर्वेंट, वो एक्सपर्ट है. And they will keep telling them, party coming to power, do not scrap it, do not scrap it, do not scrap this. And this gives continuation to India's approach towards world or not. India is known to be a big country which has contributed to the world peace like anything. Because we have been following the constituent policy. One being NAM, one being no first use policy, one being Panchil. ये तभी हो पाएगा. This is possible only when you have civil servants who are neutral, who do not read the policy from the perspective of the politics of the policy, who read the policy from the merit and the demerit of the policy. और वह न्यूट्रलिटी से आता है. ये पहला बेनिफिट है. ओके, राइट डाउन फर्स्ट. Political masters are temporary. Political masters are temporary. So political color or philosophy keeps changing. Abhi, this current government said in parliament they don't have faith in Narega. Did they scrap Narega? No. Why? Civil servant ने रोक दिया उनको. Because they knew Narega has problems. Agreed, Narega में problem है. Narega in the long run is not good. Because again, this is like a hand holding thing. Narega, but still is a good scheme. In 2008, we fueled money in Narega when we were about to face economic recession. Economic crisis होने वाला था 2008 में. Deficit was increasing. We put more money in Narega. Economic activity was slowing down. हमने सारा पैसा कहाँ डाला? नरेगा में डाल दिया. By which workers got some money. Earning हुई उनको वहाँ से. They started to buy the things and it increased the economic activity and we came back from a possible economic crisis. किसकी बदौलत? नरेगा की बदौलत. So they said that, sir, critical times, let's not remove Narega now because still economic scene is not very healthy. तो अभी भी चल रहा नरेगा. But who can read this? Civil servant who is neutral, who is not working just to make BJP happy or Congress happy, who can see the merit of the policy. Right now, political masters are temporary, keep changing, whereas civil services machinery, that is administration remains the same. So they must not, they mean civil servant, carry personal, they must not carry personal love or hate. Towards personal love or hate towards any party or minister. This way they can objectively analyze the merits and the demerits. They can objectively analyze the merits and the demerits of every scheme and continue with good policies throughout the successive governments. This gives continuation to Indian political approach and thus brings stability. Also it allows thus brings stability. एक फायदा और है न्यूट्रलिटी का. हाँ जी, क्या फायदा सर? बताओ सर. One more benefit. If you remain neutral, it is benefit to you only. You can work without fear. Very good. What else? You were working as a senior IS officer under Congress. You worked for 5 years. Congress went. Who came? BJP. Now, if you are still taking that hangover over you, यार कांग्रेस का टाइम कितना बढ़िया था. Will you be able to adjust with the new government? No. And vice versa. Or if you feel, oh, अच्छा है पुरानी government गई and the new government has come, will that actually last forever? No. After that again new government will come. तो adjustment मुश्किल होगी कि नहीं होगी? If only you are not influenced by the party in power, कोई भी हो, हमें तो काम ही करना है. If you have this kind of approach, if you remain neutral, will it not aid your adjustment with every government in power? और वो दोनों के लिए अच्छा है. Right down. Maintaining neutrality allows. This is also called as political neutrality. Let me tell you. Maintaining political neutrality लिख लो. Maintaining political neutrality allows the civil servants. Maintaining political neutrality allows the civil servant to adjust. जो चला गया उसको भूल जाओ. यही है ना सर? To adjust with every new government. To adjust with every new government and its philosophies. And its philosophies. And she said very correctly, bhai, only if you remain neutral, then only you can remain fearless. Bhai, I never took favors from anyone. I, civil servant, never took favors from anyone. Whether it was BJP, whether it was this minister, that minister. I worked as per my conscience. I worked as per my rules. Nobody can now blame me. Nobody can implicate me. And I am under no obligation to favor anyone. क्योंकि मैंने कभी किसी से फेवर लिया नहीं. आई एम अशोक खेमका. इज ही नॉट नोन टू बी अ fearless civil servant? Mr. Chaturvedi, IFS, Sanjeev Chaturvedi. Are they not, these people, Vinod Rai, are they not known to be fearless? They can criticize any government, any policy, because they have not been under obligation from any government. They worked as per the rules. Khatam. They remain neutral. Vinod Rai, when, you know who was Vinod Rai? Former CAG of India, famous, very famous for his neutrality. He said for coal scam, Congress is equally responsible as is BJP. दोनों के ऊपर blame डाला. He was not biased. He took an objective stance after doing the audit. Coal scam में दोनों की गलती थी. He could have the courage because he never took favors from any party. He never got influenced by any party. वो neutral रहे. So he could work fearlessly, and this is not in his interest, but in your interest. उनको तो threat ही था, है कि नहीं है? Right now. When a civil servant is politically neutral, second last point है, when civil servant is politically neutral, he can function. When a civil servant is politically neutral, he can function without fear. He can function without fear or vested interests. Without fear or vested interests. Nihit swarth. This increases the efficiency of administration. This increases the efficiency of administration. एक फायदा और भी है. If you have civil servants who are neutral, who are not politically affiliated, there is one more benefit. आप कोई भी बता दो, this is the end of the class. वो ज्यादा बड़ा मोटिवेशन है. फायदा See this. The same thing as I took the UP example. For example, this party is in power. Okay, this party X is in power. कोई भी हो सकती है. This party X is in power, and this party X is known to favor a particular community or not to favor another community. ठीक है? But then you belong to that community. Means you are not in the good books of the ruling party. For example, will you have, और आपने वोट भी नहीं दिया, you are from a community which did not vote for the party in power. ऐसा तो हो ही सकता है भाई, आपकी पार्टी जीती नहीं, the party which is in power was not voted by you. आपकी कम्युनिटी ने वोट नहीं दिया था उनको, बट वो जीत गए फिर भी. Will now you be fearful that will be in some trouble? डर रहेगा आपको? नहीं रहेगा सर. No matter you are from which community, no matter you are from which gender, which race, which caste, or the party in power has preference towards which religion, which caste, which gender, whatever, आपको डरने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Even if you did not vote for the party in power, you should not be fearful. Why? Because you are not being served by the political party directly. You are actually being served by the civil servant. By hardly matters whether it is BJP, Congress, CPI. You have to get your work done from administration. What you do? You go there, you give required documents and get the work done or not. Civil servant will keep treating you the same way, irrespective of the party in power. वो कल भी लेते थे और आज भी लेंगे पूरे डॉक्यूमेंट्स, कुछ उसमें माफी नहीं करेंगे, along with some fees also, official fees. ठीक है सर? No corruption. इससे क्या है? The benefit is that you feel relaxed. चलो यार, even if my party is not in power and some opposition party is in power, कोई बात नहीं, I will still not be a sufferer. I will not be prosecuted because actually civil servants are treating me and they remain neutral. They are themselves will not be driven by the ideology of the party in power or the preference of the party in power. और वही policy बनाने की भी guidance देंगे. The civil servant will guide the minister regarding policy making, and when they will make policy in such a way which benefits everyone, irrespective of religion and caste. मगर वो तो तभी होगा ना, that will happen only when these civil servants themselves are neutral. The day they become biased in the favor of ruling party, they start favoring the communities which are liked more by the ruling party, or vice versa. Understand, sir? ये भी लिख लो. Last point. People at large develop confidence. People at large develop confidence that even if their favorite party is not in power, they will be treated equally well because civil servants are neutral. Who are not influenced by the personal preferences of the party in power. They work as per rules. Last line, they work as per rules, and rules treat everyone alike. And rules treat everyone alike. They work as per rules and rules treat everyone alike.